This is the single biggest principle. And it bothers me that people are very careful with their money. The public, when they buy a refrigerator, they get a Consumer Reports. They buy a microwave oven, they do that. They ask people what's the best kind of radar range or what kind of car to buy. They do research on apartments. When they go on a trip to Wyoming, they get the Mobile Travel Guide, or California. When they go to Europe, they get the Michelin Travel Guide. People will hear a tip on a bus on some stock, and they'll put half their life savings in it before sunset, and they wonder why they lose money in the stock market. And when they lose money, they blame it on the institutions and program trading. That is garbage. They didn't do any research. They bought a piece of junk. They didn't look at the balance sheet, and that's what you get for it. And that's what we're being driven to, and it's self-fulfilling. The public does terrible investing, and they say they don't have a chance. It's because that's the way they're acting. I'm trying to convince people there is a method. There are reasons for stocks that go up.
Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Truth Be Told, where we talk about the inconvenient, I suppose those both work, but inconvenient facts and news of the day, whether it be finance or if it's economics or if it's meme stocks. We've got a packed show tonight. There's been a lot that's been going on, a lot of crazy stuff. So I'm not going to waste any time before we get to our main topic to bring on our guests. We've got, of course, Platinum Sparkles. How are you doing this evening?
Hello, good. How are you?
Doing great. And of course, we have that girl trader, Amy. How are you doing this evening?
Good. Oh my God.
Excited?
Noisy. Can I tell you that I thought like my noise canceling headphones, like I had a little click pen on Wednesday when we were talking, and like I was like fidgeting with it and clicking it, and I was like, oh, well, my headphones won't pick it up. It's noise canceling. I went back and like watched part of it, and like all I heard was like, I was like, so I'm just
click.
I'm sorry to anyone who was listening to that.
I didn't even notice it. So like maybe it was just your mic or something. I don't know. I didn't even notice it at all. Sorry, I'm having to fidget around with Rumble because apparently it doesn't let you pre-do stuff for a live stream. So every show, if you're wondering why I have the intro as long as I did, so I can fumble around, and I didn't, have enough time to do that. But tonight is kind of a pickup from our last live stream when it was just me and Amy, because we have the Cook v. Trump lawsuit going. We did a bit of a brief warm-up with at least Lisa Cook's side of the story and her motion for a preliminary injunction. We didn't get to talk at the time about the response from the government because they didn't show up with a response until an hour and 30 minutes before the hearing.
I don't think she actually filed because Judge Cobb was saying she wants them to file the preliminary injunction. So I don't think she has, I think that's what she wants Lowell to file on Tuesday. So it was the TRO.
It's a response. It's a response to the government's opposition to the TRO is what they're filing on Tuesday.
Oh, I thought I know he said that he hadn't even had a chance to read the response, but she was, I feel like she specifically,
because originally at the beginning of the hearing,
specifically asked about the preliminary injunction. Because she was asking if that's what they're looking for.
Right.
Or if it's just the TRO.
Well, the TRO is what I think they're going to have their response to the government's opposition Tuesday. There was a bit of back and forth whether they wanted a TRO or try and immediately get a status quo order.
Right.
I think they set that aside because the Fed said, well, we're just going to kind of wait for this to be resolved and not do anything. And we'll whatever the courts say afterwards.
Oh, the Fed's attorney.
We really need a status quo order because the Fed's already going to do the status quo order by not kicking her out.
Right. And I think their official stance is that they're not taking a stance.
Correct. At least until this is resolved by the courts.
Right.
My plan was to take notes during the hearing. That freaking didn't happen. First, there was also at the same time before this hearing, let's back up a bit, because we got Pulte dropping his whole, 3 strikes you're out, which we briefly got to right at, because he dropped it right as we were in the middle of the live stream.
Correct.
So
they didn't even mention this.
Yeah. Which
makes it all just
like this was a
with the rest of
Pulte's
it.
own design rather than
Yeah.
some coordination with the government on it.
He was and I don't
his ass.
So, and about this, by the way, which something I found today, and it's interesting. The Fannie, the second home rider that she had to fill out,
right?
Through Fannie, expressly states that you are permitted to rent out your second home for short periods of time. I can pull it up for you if you want to see the part of rider that I'm talking about.
Sure.
Notably, Pulte left it out.
Of course he fucking did.
Yes. I'm gonna show you.
Of course he fucking did.
Yep, I'll show you here.
While you're hooking that up, James Fishdick continued along his way by, like, this was just a stated fact. This wasn't her trying to pull the race card. She is just, in fact, the first black woman to sit on the Fed. Like, she didn't try and say, I'm a black woman, therefore that's why Trump is trying to remove me. Like, that would be the race card. So, like, whatever. Let's see here. I will note that I found this interesting article that James Fishback apparently is what, BAM investor would look like if he was successful in his grifting skills, because apparently he was hired allegedly by a hedge fund and paid $1 million, and what is a Georgetown University dropout. So at least BAM investor finished college. But yeah. So yes, let's see.
Okay, so this is from the writer, the Fannie writer, for the second home. Borrower must occupy and use the property as borrower's second home. Borrower will maintain exclusive control over the occupancy of the property, including short-term rentals, and will not subject the property to any time sharing or other shared ownership arrangements, or to any rental pool or agreement that requires borrower either to rent the property or give a management firm, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, she was permitted. So he was like, one of his arguments in his 3 strikes and you're out is that she called this her second home and then was renting it out. And like on her financial disclosure to the Fed, it's listed as a rental property or income property. And she declared 15 to 50K of it. And so this is in Cambridge, Massachusetts. So Platt can probably tell you how expensive it is to rent places there. But if she was doing like short-term rentals for, I don't know, $1,500, $1,800, for how, I don't know, however long she was doing it or whatever, like that would easily bring in 15 to 50K in rentals, in rental income, right? And she is allowed to do that with her second home. She is allowed to do short-term rentals. Can't be a long-term rental with you're renting it out and
which would explain why that listing was only for a short period of time, possibly.
No, that's Atlanta.
Okay.
And I don't think that is rented. I think the only property that she has rental income on is Cambridge. But she's allowed to do it, and she's permitted in her second home rider, and like Pulte left it out completely. So my question becomes: Is he dishonest? Is he acting in bad faith, or is he fucking incompetent? Because this comes from Fannie Mae.
Yeah.
So did he not know?
We also had some other stuff going in the hearing. Roger Stone trying to say, "Ooh, the judge and Lisa Cook were sorority sisters, therefore shenanigans afoot." Like
they were in the same. They were in the same sorority, but like 30 years apart.
Yeah, and so there's been a lot of trying to sandbag the fact that Cobb is a liberal judge, and therefore shenanigans are coming because they know they're going to lose on the merits. They know, so they've got to play this like footsie game about preparing the fact that they're just going to lose because the facts don't support what they're saying. Especially we got this whole she admitted and the whole like clerical error thing, which I'm sorry, excuse me and pull up a lawyer here who basically, Anna Bauer, who we're going to talk about a little bit more because she was actually at the hearing taking notes on this, was like, yeah, lawyers make hypothetical arguments all the time. Could you all just kind of sit the fuck back down?
Right.
So I was going to go over their motion. I didn't get to
as
highlight
I was telling you, like at this point where she is now, like she's got it. Like after, because nobody else is really looking, so I went looking and like
right.
She has owned the Cambridge property since 2002. She's owned the Ann Arbor property since 2005. They are clearly refis. Those are both 15-year loans. So she clearly did a 15-year refi on the Cambridge property and the Ann Arbor property, which why wouldn't you? The rates were ridiculously low. And then Atlanta was 2021. And like, I think at this point she has got to explain it. There's just there's no other way around it. She's got to explain it. And I think after finally finding out if she owned those properties before 21, that there is an explanation for it. And like I was telling you, the lender in Cambridge and the lender in Atlanta are the same. So she didn't mislead that lender. That lender clearly knows, right? So I'm just leaning farther towards there being a reasonable explanation for this, and at this point, she's got to give it.
Right. The government had several arguments that they brought up leading into the hearing.
Worst arguments.
Some of them I think are legitimate, like especially those that go to whether she is able to say that there's irreparable harm. It has to be irreparable harm to you. It can't be like this abstract version of irreparable harm that they were making the argument of. Yeah. And at the end of the day, if it can't be irreparable harm, that the firing is irreparable harm because they can just put her back into the position she had. So that's going to be something that'll be interesting to see Tuesday, how her lawyers respond to that. A lot of the other arguments were just dumb. Like they were trying to say that in the case of a public official, that she doesn't have standing to bring these kinds of claims. And then they used arguments from case law that dealt with elected officials, which I'm not sure how that's supposed to follow. Yeah, right. She's appointed to a position that is under the auspices of Congress. Like that power was granted by Congress and is overseen by Congress. It's clear in the law. So there's some arguments in there that will be interesting to see how the response comes out. I think it'll be hard for them to get injunctive relief if they can't get over the hurdle of like the actual irreparable harm to Lisa Cook.
Well, I think the other bigger one was the property argument, arguing that that the job is property kind of like, and I think it's going to fall on cause, which is, I think it's going to be tricky because, like I was telling you, like SCOTUS has always fallen behind, when it's
a judgment decision.
Yeah, even Roth said it, right? He was like, "What are you going to do? Put him under deposition?" Like basically, it's like daring them to do it, right? Like, what are you going to do? You can put the president under oath.
I'd say, fuck yeah, do it.
Make his deposition. They're not going to do that, and SCOTUS isn't going. Like, they are going to lean heavy into the Second Amendment that gives them that they're going to lean heavy into that.
No, this Article 2.
Article 2. Sorry, that's what I meant. Yeah, they're going to lean hard into that. It's clear from what they were arguing that they're going to lean hard into that, and SCOTUS typically
plays along. Yeah,
bends a knee to it.
Yeah, unfortunately.
But her side.
I'm glad that Cannon Fodder has the same idea I have. Why not both? He's incompetent and deceptive, which makes him hilarious because he tries to be deceptive, but he sucks at it. Yeah, as far as like what happened at the hearing, whoops, why did that go to that? That's not what I wanted. Thank you. Everyone gets to
She's
see my
great, by
Twitch
the
back.
way. I watched that live stream.
Yes, like
She's
I do
great.
have it. I tried to clip it up. We'll see if we can skim
I
through
mean, you
some
really
of
just
it.
need to play her part. She's great.
That's what I did. I clipped that out. Anna Bauer has a whole ass, like
She's
whole
every
spread
single
going blow by blow
thing.
on Blue Sky. If you want the whole lowdown, she also has an article on Lawfare, and then of course we have the actual stuff that she did on Lawfare. I'm gonna put this up because it's 4 minutes, 10 minutes almost. So I'm gonna move the speed up a bit, but what she says here is all on point.
Hearing is before Judge Gia Cobb, who is in the district court of the District of Columbia, and this was a temporary restraining order, so a very preliminary step in all of this, in which Lisa Cook is effectively just seeking to, still have access to her office, to still, stay on temporarily as a member of the Board of Governors of the Federal Reserve, and we get into this hearing. It's a 2-hour long hearing for all the reasons that James just discussed. It's very clear that Judge Cobb is, struggling, I think, to figure out what to do here, because there are so many unresolved questions related to this. And on the one hand, for all the reasons that James articulated with respect to Cook's arguments about, the uniqueness of the Federal Reserve, the fact that, it seems like cause has to have some meaning, right? On the one hand, but then on the other hand, you have the government that in their response that they just filed this morning, like quite literally 30 minutes before we went into the hearing, so close to the hearing that in fact, Abby Lowell, who was representing Lisa Cook here, said that he barely had time to, even skim through the government filing. But in their brief, they're making the argument that cause, it's kind of just basically as long as the president can state some kind of facially acceptable reason that doesn't have to do with some basic policy disagreement, then courts can look no further than that. And in fact, at one point, Yakov Roth, who was representing DOJ, and then also in their brief, they kind of allude to this idea that actually we probably could challenge the constitutionality of this statute and the for cause provision. We probably could just say that the president can, remove at will under his Article 2 authority, but out of deference to the Supreme Court's statement that it made, that James mentioned with respect to kind of maybe the Fed is unique, we're not doing that right now. But that means that this for cause interpretation has to be so capacious that it's basically not subject to judicial review at all. And of course,
which I always think is kind of a weird thing, because if that's the case, that it can be for cause can be any cause that the president comes up with, then you're essentially made a law that has a rule in it that is meaningless. And that's kind of what, Lisa Cook's lawyers brought up, is like, if that's the law, then, people don't write things that mean nothing. One of the basic tenets of law is like, people don't write things just to write them. So like for cause has to mean like something material that's supposed to be restrictive. And if there's no restriction, then why put it in there in the first place?
Well, the judge kind of ran through that with Lowell in the beginning, like hypotheticals, which seem to, even still, when they made it, I feel like very clear that they were just talking about hypotheticals. Like she actually brought up the clerical error thing, and she was like, just in hypothetical, not in this case. Like she was very specific. She was like, would that be, with like the clerical error thing, would that be cause? And they had a back and forth on that.
Part of the back and forth was that they said if there was like any sort of criminal activity beforehand, can that be for cause? And they said we weren't saying that any criminal activity couldn't be for cause. In this case, the mortgage loans were known beforehand and were subject to Senate review during the confirmation process.
Yes.
So anything arising out of that can't be for cause because the Senate confirmed her. If there was something that came up, like, I don't know, Lisa Cook happened to murder someone, and this was new information that the Senate wouldn't have known about, then, you could fire someone for cause for that, because it's new information that no one knew then. It wasn't subject to review at the time of her confirmation. But since we already knew about the mortgages before confirmation, how could it possibly be for cause? You already knew.
They already knew. And that Lowell made that argument. He was like, oh, I mean, we can go back and I'll pull everything. Like, we'll pull all of her the documentation she had to submit, and that the Senate reviewed, right? Like, we can do that. He's like, that's sure, let's do that.
What if she had some sort of fraudulent PPP loan situation?
Right? Or campaign finance fraud. I mean, I guess but I mean, you can whataboutism all day, right? Like, what about Ken Paxton and his 3 primary residences? I mean, like, just like, what's good for the goose is good for the gander, bro. Like, and by the way, they all, like, we talked about this on Wednesday, right? Like, they all have 2 places in which they live and work. So I don't know.
Abby Lowell attacks this as saying, like, you know, that is so expansive as to be meaningless.
I think the craziest part, by the way, is that a person who's never had a mortgage in his life is
never been in the mortgage industry, never even touched it.
Nothing.
Not even once.
Which is why I'm pretty fully in the camp that he doesn't have a clue what he's doing.
I mean, he doesn't even know what like a secured versus unsecured loan is. Well,
he doesn't know what a Sharpe ratio is. I know that.
Yeah, exactly. There's a lot of things.
Right. I mean, we can unpack a lot of things about Bill Pulte, having talked about him for what a year.
I think the list of things that he does know would probably be a lot shorter.
Idea that there are any restrictions at all. And Judge Cobb, meanwhile, had a lot of good questions about some of the arguments that are being made with respect to that, but also, you know, the pretext of it all, because it seems very clear to quite literally everyone that really what is going on here is that the reasons articulated in Trump's letter that he posted to social media, while those are the stated reasons related to these alleged contradictory statements that were made on a mortgage agreement, it really seems like everything is pointing to the fact that Trump really is just mad that the Fed has not agreed to lower interest rates.
Yeah, that's the whole funny part about this is, like, everyone knows that what the real end goal of all of this is.
He's blatantly said it. Illini, she can't.
Which one do you want?
If she has paid her mortgage payments on time every time, she has not defaulted. She has not done anything. Like, they can't charge her with anything criminal.
Right. Because remember what we talked about Thursday is, to be convicted of mortgage fraud, there has to be an injury to a property interest. What property interest was injured if she's still paying her loan?
That's why the mail fraud and all the other bullshit he named off is laughable. It's fucking laughable.
So
he's just trying to make like a bad situation worse, because I think their whole goal here is to erode public trust in her. And so even if she comes up like
cause.
No, well, yes, but they can also like if the public's trust is so damaged, right? Like, even if she comes out and says, like, this is what happened and it's perfectly reasonable, like, it's still going to be in people's heads.
Right.
And so it's
you've already tainted the pool of people with misinformation, and you know,
which I think is the whole
lie
point.
Can get twice around the globe before the truth has a chance to put its pants on.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, according to Yakov Roth, tweets are noticed, and 5 days was plenty of time.
Look, like we'll come back to her, but this was also like Anna Bauer posted Cobb. You're not suggesting, this is the Judge Cobb. You're not suggesting that what happened here with the social media posts constitutes notice and opportunity to be heard. Absolutely, I am, from Roth. That's the DOJ's lawyer. Like, any lawyer who has a concept of what notice is should know that a tweet does not constitute notice. Like, notice is like, when you look at it from the legal aspect, is a formal process, like sending a letter to someone, having someone deliver something so they know personally that this person received the message. So to call a tweet notice is fucking hilarious. Like, how can you even say that? and even get a lawyer to say that. That's what's even more hilarious, which shows how like I get it. The DOJ's lawyers, their job is to defend the government's actions, no matter how fucking stupid they are. But like, honestly, please.
Been voting with Powell on the interest rates issue to be gone, and he wants to kind of get control of the board. And so Judge Cobb, is like, well, how do I even begin to think about pretext in this respect? Because that requires looking to the president's motivations. That requires kind of doing things that courts, and especially the Supreme Court, has been so reluctant to do, which is peek behind the president's stated reasons and look to his motivations. And so she's very clearly struggling with that. There's also a lot of unfavorable case law related to things like irreparable harm, and then also on the procedural aspect of this case, which relates to the question of opportunity to be heard, notice. The government is arguing on the one hand that, oh, well, there were social media posts and that's sufficient notice. And then she had an opportunity to be heard because after those social media posts about these allegations, she never made any effort to communicate with the president to explain her side of the story. She had that opportunity to do that and she didn't. And then, she had the opportunity in these briefings to explain things away, and yet she didn't. Obviously, though, when you're raising an opportunity to be heard due process claim, you're saying you deserve that opportunity to be heard. You're not then going to, in your briefings, try to explain everything away, because that seems to kind of moot part of your point. I think that maybe that's one of the reasons why Abby Lowell and Cook's team has kind of been reluctant to turn this into an actual innocence factual inquiry. And then there's also, of course, the criminal risk of criminal liability aspect of it all, as to why you would maybe not want to turn this into a factual question of what exactly was going on with these mortgage agreements. But regardless, it just is a bit of a mess, Ben, because Judge Cobb is like, I don't like how I began to look at those issues. What would a hearing even look like? Is it just talking to the president? Is it an actual, do you have to have an independent kind of judicial oversight of some kind of hearing? All of this is just to say that it's a mess. There's so many unresolved questions. She's clearly struggling with what to do. And we left this hearing with really no real sense of what exactly she was going to do.
How did she leave it?
So that's how she left it. Again, like I said, it was like, very late before the.
She was like, okay, so I need this in by Tuesday, and like Lowell was like, work through the holiday weekend, and she was like, okay, like let's get that, because they're trying to figure out the scheduling, right? Like, so
right, because originally Cook's lawyers were like, if you want it out, we can have it out by the end of today. And she's like, no, you don't need to push this too fast. But
she's trying to avoid some of the procedural stuff and trying to get it on an expedited schedule, because
they want this done before.
Clearly, time is of the essence. Yeah, and so they're trying to move this, like, and the irreparable harm, like, which I think Lowell had a pretty good point, was that, like, if this is allowed to stand, he'll fill her seat, and then there's no coming back from that. Is basically what Lowell's saying, and so, I think. You have to consider that, because he has said.
The trick is that is definitely public.
I took a screenshot of exactly what he said.
I think the problem with that, though, is that, like we talked about before, that would go to the public interest part, the fourth wheel of injunctive relief, but it still doesn't exactly go to irreparable harm when it comes to Lisa Cook, the entity that's suing.
He said, we'll have a majority, because I only mentioned the first part. So he said, we'll have a majority very shortly. This is in the cabinet meeting. He said, once we have a majority, housing is going to swing and it's going to be great. People are paying too high in interest rates. P.S. It's not the interest rates. It's the home prices. But that's another conversation. People are paying too high in interest rates. That's the only problem with housing. We have to get the rates down a little bit.
We'll set aside for now the discussion we've had before about Fed doesn't control long-term interest rates. Put that aside for a bit. Or the fact that interest rates tend to go up after a Fed rate cut when it comes to mortgages. We'll set also that aside for a moment. Just deal with the fact that it's clearly
the Fed funds rate has nothing to do with the long end.
Yeah. So that's always fun.
hearing that the government filed its response in opposition. Abby Lowell said that he would like to file a reply. She gave him until Tuesday to file that reply. And everyone, whether it's DOJ, whether it is Abby Lowell, everyone seemed to agree that even though there is a rush here, there's not a this needs to be done overnight rush. The reason being that the next meeting of the Board of Governors is not until mid-September. Also, if there's actually to be a replacement of Cook, that would take some time because you'd have to nominate someone, you'd have the Senate confirmation process. Which even though Cook's team is very much wanting a swift resolution to the current uncertainty around her position, everyone seemed to agree that at least until Tuesday, when that reply brief can be filed, there's not a huge rush. And so that would be the earliest that we would get a decision.
So she is technically not in office between now and Tuesday, right? She is asking for a TRO against an action or she's been fired. She says, please put in a TRO. But the current state of play is that she is not in office.
No, well, it depends on who you ask. And I think that it's genuinely unclear if she is in office or not, because.
Well, we found out from a tweet from Pulte that technically she is, because he was bitching about that over the weekend.
Yeah, because they haven't. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And there's been some, I just saw before we joined the live that Bill Pulte, however you say his name.
It's Plute. Look, let me help you out, Anna Bauer. It's Plute. Call him Plute, please.
She does say it wrong. Plute. Louis Richard said.
I got some thumbs up in the comment section of this video for saying that. So
Platt, look at Richard's comment.
Okay.
We like her. We like this. We like Abby, but this. It's not 100% off.
Anna Bauer. Anna Bauer and Platinum Sparkle separated at birth.
What I call her, Abby. I'm thinking of Abby Lowell. Anna, sorry.
Yeah. Mentioned that apparently the Federal Reserve Board of Governors is still allowing her access to her office. They are named, the Board of Governors and Powell are actually named as defendants in the suit, but instead of filing a reply in opposition, as you maybe typically would if you're a named defendant, what the Board of Governors instead did was say that they're not taking a position and that they will do whatever the court requires. Yeah. So it's in limbo right now because they're saying, well, we'll just kind of do whatever the court wants us to do. So it's really not clear, Ben.
Gotcha.
But yeah, that was her whole segment during that. Things just kept getting more fun as the week went along. As people...
I mean, he had some zingers though. He had the one from the one where he read the last line and he was like, "Just want to say, he closed the case with this," and it was like, I can't even. We could probably check Anna's thing. She probably got it, but yeah. It was such a zinger. It was great.
Yeah, because he threw they threw some pretty hot tamales Pulte's way during the course of that as well.
Oh yeah, he was like Trump and the guy, and then he's talking about how Pulte's tweeting in the middle of the night, because I noticed it too the day of the hearing. Yeah. He was tweeting at 3 a.m.
Right, because he knows that if they do get discovery, what he's been doing is going to be out there.
Well, Lowell said, he sent 31 backfill tweets in the last 36 hours. But yeah, he threw some haymakers for sure.
Yeah. Of course, you guys
just really highlighting the ridiculousness of what Bill Pulte has been doing.
Yeah. Like you guys said, really interesting, given Trump's history, that this is what we're going with. CNN also brought up that Tulsi Gabbard, I didn't know about this, also had some mortgage shenanigans, apparently claiming homes in Texas and Hawaii. Of course, there's the Bill Paxton stuff that we've talked about multiple times here, so I won't belabor that one. Then there was this one. I saw both you.
Wait, did you say Bill Paxton?
But whatever.
Ben Paxton. There's a really great game because Bill Pullman and Bill Paxton were in a lot of movies at the same time. So it's a really great game called Paxton or Pullman. And sorry, I'm getting distracted.
Is this like QAnon or
no? Because they were in
not Jimmy.
No, because they were just both big at the same time and in everything. So you would, for example, Weird Science is Bill Paxton. Bill Pullman was in like Arachnophobia. So like all around the same time, they were like in a lot of movies, big movies, and so it's there's a fun game called Paxton Pullman, and that's random knowledge.
So this I saw you post, and I also saw like Blowback Capital. This was kind of crazy. Let's go. We'll turn up the playback quality here. I know.
First, I do want to get your response to some breaking news and current events, including President Donald Trump's attempt to fire Lisa Cook from the Federal Reserve's Board of Governors. He says it's over alleged mortgage fraud, but she has not been charged with a crime. Is this about forcing the Fed to cut interest rates?
Well, a couple things here. So first of all, I don't think anybody doubts that Lisa Cook committed some mortgage fraud, whether a local authority.
I do.
Bold statements.
Yeah, bold statement.
Oh boy.
Decides to prosecute.
Oh my gosh.
Prosecutor, of course, the president.
Noisy, there's a website. It's called PaxtonOrPullman.com.
Oh my goodness.
See, I told you.
Doesn't get involved in those decisions, but she made a mistake, and she potentially made a criminal mistake. And the question is, do we want a person who makes a mistake?
So we got the back pedal there. First, she definitely committed mortgage fraud. Well, maybe it wasn't criminal.
He's about to say, like, even if she did nothing, it's crazy what he says right here.
That to be a person who sits on the Federal Reserve Board, which makes important monetary policy for the entire country, I think that position should be held to the highest possible standard. So whether it's criminal, whether it's intentional or not, we know this is a person I think who doesn't meet the standard that we should expect for the Federal Reserve, which is why the president fired her. And he does have the legal right to fire her. And this goes into a second, I think, a much more fundamental question. Let's just say, for the sake of argument, that Lisa Cook had done absolutely nothing wrong. Isn't it a little preposterous to say that the president of the United States, the elected president of the United States, working, of course, in concert with Congress, doesn't have the ability to make these determinations?
Yeah, because Congress
no, that's not ridiculous.
Passed a fucking law.
No, that's not ridiculous at all. It's in the Federal Reserve Act.
Like the Congress passed a law that says the president doesn't get to do this, and you know what? A president signed their signature to it. So guess what? Fuck nut. He doesn't get to.
And the Supreme Court upheld it in May.
What people who are saying the president has no authority here, what they're effectively saying is that 7 economists and lawyers should be able to make an incredibly critical decision for the American people with.
What do you want to call? What do you want to call the president's cabinet? A bunch of unelected officials who get to make policy decisions and advise the president. Like, how far does this go, dipshit? Like, what? Anyway,
I mean, but yeah, I don't know. He says the whole thing. He says it all out loud right there. Like he basically is like, even if she
should do whatever he wants to.
No, but that the president should have power over the Federal Reserve.
Right. I also found this
Talk
funny.
about eroding
this wasn't
public trust.
Something Pulte directly said, but someone was suggesting that Pulte should also check Lisa Cook's PPP loans.
The irony.
Yeah.
Was that what you said? There you go. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm pretty much like, oh, please go there. Fucking
irony.
Please. Then, of course, there's this article that you showed me as of late, which has to do with something we brought up previously, a little bit more under the radar about Pulte's potential elections fraud violations.
Well, campaign finance.
Yeah, campaign finance, where to give a brief
the determination is in here.
Yeah. So we've kind of gone over it before, but a brief summary. Back in the day, there was the Make America Great Again with like two again. Yeah. That was a campaign fund that was set up as a political action committee, which Pulte or Pulte's wife donated to.
Well, they had a shell. There's a shell corporation.
A shell corporation that donated to it. Mm-hmm. And this
$500,000, which I think is the.
And the shell corporation had the same address as their home address. And so the article goes into that, and the response that we found by the Pultes to the inquiry, they go over how, oops, my wife was just kind of ditzy and accidentally filled the form out wrong. What's most important about the form is, here's the form. I'm going to let y'all make note of that signature there. That's supposedly Diane.
I mean, look at the top. The top is different handwriting than the bottom. It's different than her name, and then
her signature down here. Mm-hmm. Now, what's also funny about this is, okay, this looks different than this, and then like Diane filled out the form and signed it, but Bill didn't. Would have been too obvious, bro, to see your signature and be able to take notes. Is that what the problem was here? That's why
the determination was that she incorrectly filled out the form, right? Like whatever, you can go back to that article. It says it in there. But the FEC took a long time to decide on this. And I think it just made its kind of decision recently. You have to go up. They mention where they got the result, or they had to call the FEC, and here you go. So he didn't respond, right? He also hasn't addressed it. The determination that the contributor of the funds, Diana Pulte, had incorrectly filled out a form to indicate the money came from the LLC rather than a member of the Pulte family. That looks like the same kind of paperwork sloppiness
that he's
and information ultimately provided to the federal government that Bill is now harassing Trump foes over. What is the revolving door project said, I'm extremely skeptical that Bill Pulte would come across 1/1000th, is it 1/100th, as well as Lisa Cook if his paperwork were scrutinized as closely as he scrutinized Cook's paperwork. But there's an interesting bit tidbit when she talked to the FEC. Scroll up a little bit. Let me see. There you go. The FEC looked at the issue and determined that there was no violation by Director Pulte. An FHFA spokesperson told Mother Jones he was 100% compliant. Anything else
is fake news.
Fake news, an attempt to smear Director Pulte and distract from serious mortgage fraud. Sad.
Like, did they ask Trump for this? like the fact that an FHFA spokesman. This had to come from Pulte as an FHFA spokesman. This, like, what are we even fucking doing here? What?
See, and there you go, the opaque gift drew, from the Watchdog group, so on and so forth. But so he said, here you go. A resulting Fed Election Commission investigation concluded only this year. This happened in like 22, I think. Mm-hmm. And the investigation concluded this year when the FEC quietly announced that the Trump-controlled PAC had erred in failing to properly disclose that his wife was the real source of the money. The agency said that Bill Pulte had not broken the law, and it did not accuse Diana Pulte of wrongdoing.
Mm-hmm. Convenient.
He wouldn't be the first one to abuse marital privilege. Just saying.
Wouldn't be the first time either. We also got this. I don't know. I haven't really looked too much into this, so I'm not going to scrutinize it too hard as far as like definitively saying Bill did something wrong here or whatever, because I've only been able to glance at this. But Jeff Davies, our favorite SEC whistleblower to, oil companies that don't actually have oil wells that pump anything, is also suggesting that the known PPP loans shenanigans that Bill Pulte has done is potentially not the only PPP loans shenanigans Bill Pulte has been up to. Apparently, he invested in an HVAC company called Absolute Airflow, and they have had some potential PPP loans shenanigans that the loans have to be taken out because apparently they had used it to do
payroll.
It has to be for payroll, but it looks like there's a potential it was used for an M&A deal, which no, that's not how that works. Of course, there's also that, his dad also had some PPP loan shenanigans. So, just keep it all in the family. So that's hopefully all that we'll deal with that. We're going to move into some strictly, hopefully we can get this done pretty quickly, because I'd like to save at least some room for the other topics we're doing.
Right.
We got a surprise ruling. Well, the ruling wasn't a surprise, but the verdict came down that the full court of the Federal Circuit ruled in favor, affirmed the lower court's ruling that many of President Trump's executed statutory authority under IEEPA was unconstitutional and against the law. We actually have the full finding here. I don't know why it said 7-4, because it says on the document here that it was per curiam, which would mean it's unanimous, or maybe per curiam as in, no, that would have been en banc. So here we are. The government appeals the decision of the court in the international trade, setting aside 5 executive orders that impose tariffs of unlimited duration on nearly all goods from nearly every country in the world, holding that the tariffs were not authorized by the International Emergency Economic Powers Act, IEEPA, because we agree that IEEPA's grant of presidential authority to regulate imports does not authorize the tariffs imposed by the executive order. We affirm the decision of the lower court. So a lot of Trump's signature tariffs, because he didn't want to do it the right way of going through Congress, which, by the way, is Republican controlled. Like, you're telling me you couldn't just get these tariffs passed the normal way?
Well, he came out, as soon as that came out, first thing he said was that the tariffs will stay in place for now. Like, he basically was like defiant.
Well, I mean,
he's like, what, the tariffs will stay. He's like, the tariffs will stay in place as it works its way through the court. Basically, is what he said. I'm like, works its way through the court. They just decided.
They just struck them down,
right? Like
until the SCOTUS overturns, they're technically like, okay, bro, if that's what you want to go with, that, yeah. He says tariffs are still in effect. Yeah, it's kind of one of those Andrew Jackson, the Supreme Court has made its decision, now let them enforce it moments. Some of you may remember that one from your history class, or maybe not. As pointed out by Eric Bowman, Trump's tariffs are now over 3 in court. Yikes. Hopefully that means that, he'll do it the constitutional way by, having Congress pass something.
I'm telling you, like, it's the same argument they're making with Cook. Like I said, I said, let me save you the time.
Unitary executive theory.
How dare you question the dear leader's story?
Yeah, it's unitary executive theory. The president has all the power. Everyone else just gets to eat shit. One brief moment before we get into the thumbnail hot topic of the week. I hate when people do bad economics. And the Treasury Secretary is saying, ooh, because we had a spending bill that, led to higher CapEx, GDP went up. Well, no shit. If you increase government spending to juice economic output, yeah, GDP will go up. It does not mean that it still isn't bullshit.
Well, they're about to spend a lot more. Did you see Trump's message about how they're bringing back the IRS workers to, I mean,
find all that money that you guys have been hiding, which he's getting flack for, which good. Like, I'm one for if there's a law, obey it. But like, he made his whole campaign of, ooh, we're going to get rid of all this tax stuff. And then now he's backpedaling. Yeah, definitely. Sorry, I was looking at the private chat. I just realized that it was because it doesn't annoy you anymore.
Platt and I are singing.
So we get to the moment that we've all been waiting for the lead-in segment, which I had in the thumbnail.
To recognize your leader.
You all. That is the this one's really funny because it's
really
just
like
all of them just basically.
Haven't stopped by the Department of Labor. Mr. President, I invite you to see your big, beautiful face on a banner in front of the Department of Labor.
They did this, by the way.
The transformational president of the American worker, along with the American flag and President Roosevelt.
Working for this government, for you, is the greatest honor of my life. I tell it to everybody, and I really do feel that way, and I thank you.
You have breathed life back into the profession of law enforcement. Your respect for law enforcement is so incredible. It's making a difference.
This is just such a great opportunity, really, to recognize your leadership as a true.
He's orgasming right now.
Well, everyone knows there's no stronger advocate for hardworking American families than you.
Well, Mr. President, first of all, thank you for the opportunity to work for you.
Our country has never been so secure thanks to you.
Is this like a space call or something? What's
I mean, I just like, when the camera pans away, are they just like, does the next one like spitting in their hand? Like, for fuck's sake. It's embarrassing.
Finally gets its act together and realizes that you are the single finest candidate since the this Nobel Award was ever.
He can't even get it out of his
fucking mouth.
It's pretty great to celebrate Labor Day.
I think it is 100%.
Who loves labor? The Great Trump Project.
Oh my goodness, that's not the only like abject stupidity to come out of this. So I think Amy alluded to this one prior when we were back on the Lisa Cook stuff.
Very strongly for a long time about what you see as the weaponization of government.
Yeah.
Is your administration weaponizing government by digging
100%.
into the mortgage records of officials you don't like?
No, they're public. I mean, you can find out those.
They're not.
You can go check out the.
Like, this is the lie that Bill had even fed out. Like, he was pre-wrapping this for him. Oh, these were all public documents. No. Nope. That wasn't all. We got
is not letting foreign countries
the tariffs
take advantage of us. We're collecting hundreds of billions of dollars, trillions of dollars over 10 years in tariffs from countries and companies that were formerly.
There we go, companies. So it is the Americans that are getting punished. Glad that the couch fucker can get that over to us. Let's see here. We had more stuff about the whole Intel thing that I think came up. Where is it? And I just gotta find where we get to best. I know it's.
Did you see Gavin Newsom did his own little version of the cabinet?
No, but I bet that sounds hilarious. We'll have to get to that later.
Who did?
Oh yeah, this one was stupid dumb. Let me know if you guys can figure the logic on this one.
Like Gavin Newsom, like press office, whatever.
Amazing. So funny.
It's so funny. I don't know who he hired. Funny. He definitely hired somebody because.
Oh, I know who he hired.
It's basically like making fun of the whole like Trump mannerisms, except puffing up.
The funniest part is that like all those people are like flipping out at him. This is so unprofessional. Like that's where the joke is.
Right, because it shows the hypocrisy.
It's like the people who run like the Wendy's accounts or the KFC account. Like they brought the potato wedges back and they were like, "Okay, everybody, please shut the fuck up." Like it's just like one of those funny things. Like I don't know.
Right.
A blast. So, two more things. The Department of Commerce is going to start issuing its statistics on the blockchain because
Why?
Groundbreaking.
Like, what are you gonna do? You're gonna put like some PDF in a Dropbox?
They're just looking for some way to like sneak it in there to like.
I'm pretty sure that's
the
exactly what they
blockchain.
did.
Like, who gives it? Like what? You're not sending out like. Why does that need to be on the blockchain? Like
Bennett Tomlin.
Isn't it immutable just coming from you? Like, why does it need to be on the blockchain?
I know. Right? So Bennett Tomlin, who I like from the crypto critics corner, is like, someone asked Lutnick to define a blockchain next time he's on TV.
Absolutely.
And if he uses the words decentralized, immutable, or censorship resistant, follow it up with under what conditions? No. But that's not the
and like
only...
why does that why does that even need to be on the blockchain?
I know that's the big like the $1 million question. Why do you need to do that? Not the only stupid idea to come from him today. I mean during this cabinet meeting.
Patents. We have given tens, if not hundreds of billions of dollars to universities.
I mean,
for them to do
Pete's
research,
face looks like,
and they invent.
I can't believe I had to.
You know who
sit
owns
next to
those
this guy.
patents? The universities. So we are going to make a deal with them all, which is if we give them the money, don't you think it's fair that the United States of America and the taxpayers who funded it get a piece of that?
No.
Oh, boy, here we go again.
No. If you are issuing grants, you don't get to take their patents. Ugh. Like,
of course,
how does that spur growth and innovation? Like, if the government gets a piece of their patent, like,
look, you don't understand the finer mechanics of the government operating as a mafioso boss.
just like, are you kidding me? Like, this is how, like, companies and business, like, they get these patents, they develop this stuff, right? And then they go out and they start a company and start contributing to the economy and make jobs. And, like, this is how America works. And, like, you just, what? You're going to just send somebody over there to break their fucking kneecaps for 5%?
It's official new government policy.
For, like,
give us
protection?
money
Like,
or
for
we'll
what?
start cutting your
Like,
funding.
The government has no business in any of this.
Like,
and, like,
I
how
get
is that?
it.
How is that not a barrier of entry now for people?
I get it if you're
Like, why do this if the government's just going to come in and take it?
I get it if you were of the libertarian mindset that government shouldn't be giving out these grants in the first place and just let the free market handle it. But this almost fascistic inclination of, well, we'll give you money for something in exchange is just absolute totalitarian nonsense. But it doesn't stop there for them.
Given $11 billion to Intel, giving it to them, done. Corporate just gift. And you turn that into really, it was like less than 5 minutes of conversation, and Intel agreed to give us 10% of their company.
It's not a gift if you hold the $5 billion ransom for a 10% stake in the company. It's not a gift.
No, they just took the money from the CHIPS Act that was going to go to Intel for them to.
And then they held it hostage.
Well, they took it back and said, we'll give it to you, but you're going to give us 10%.
Yeah. We also got that U.S. government will be taking more equity stakes in other businesses. Get ready for that one. It'll be amazing, I'm sure. We even got, also to add to that, while Howard Lutnick was trying to say, oh, well, we're not asking for government control. Well, in Intel's disclosure statements, they said something kind of fucking different, that, their business may be impacted by the government coming in and telling them what to do because now they're a 10% shareholder.
Jensen Huang said on the call for NVIDIA that, like, because remember, like, they're supposed to be giving some amount of their revenue, right? Isn't that what was proposed?
Right, 15% for any revenues from China.
Basically said if that is to happen, it's going to open us up to litigation.
Yeah.
So, like, I mean, who's not clear on this here?
Well, I mean, it's kind of like how the Trump administration
you have public shareholders. So
on who controls DOGE for the longest time. One last thing from our dear friend Howard Lutnick about controlling stakes in other companies that get government funding.
What about defense companies, though, Secretary? Why shouldn't the U.S. government say, you know what, we use Palantir services, we would like a piece of Palantir. We use Boeing services, we would like a piece of Boeing. There are a lot of businesses that do business with the U.S. government that benefit by doing business with the U.S. government. I guess the question is, where's the line?
Oh, there's a monstrous discussion about defense. I mean, Lockheed Martin makes 97% of their revenue from the U.S. government. They are basically an arm of the U.S. government. They make exquisite munitions. I mean, amazing things that can knock a missile out of the air when it's coming towards you.
And they supply it to the government.
I'm going to leave that to my Secretary of Defense and the Deputy Secretary of Defense. These guys are on it and they're thinking about it. But I tell you what, there's a lot of talking that needs to be had about how do we finance our munitions acquisitions. I think a lot of that is talking. And now you have the right people in the jobs and Donald Trump at the head thinking about what is the right way to do it. I tell you, the way it has been done has been a giveaway.
to leave us off for this point.
Did you hear him today saying that they were, like, he was talking about changing the Department of Defense name to the
Department of War? Yeah. In case it wasn't clear where this is all heading. I did like this post to wrap up this segment from the Babylon Bee, which is a parody site.
Why does he
Trump
look so
vows to
weird?
nationalize as many private companies as it takes to defeat socialism.
Why does he look so weird?
He looks microwaved.
Like, visibly, he just looks strange now. I don't know. Even since, like, the campaign and electing. And, like, I don't know. It's weird.
All right. So before we get into the meme stock stuff, we do we do have an intro into our meme stock section. So let's let her rip. I'm gonna kick us off.
Over 2 years of threads, 2 years of spin, thousands of posts, promising wins, breaking DD, same clip every night, circles on screenshots, random highlights. That used to be now we're class 9, watching the chart while we wave goodbye. Unlimited hype dates, never check out. Patty books are for kids, keep the fairy tales out. Why are you trading without me? Weekly we won, while the facts refuse. Hype never hits, he's lying for views, yelling shill at receipts, but the truth held strong. Facts beat hopium, shills were right all along. That used to be us, now we're class 9, watching the chart while we wave goodbye. Unlimited hype dates, never check out, while the cloud crowd keeps lying, no doubt. BBBY, why are you trading without me? Echo room spaces, mic check spin, cloud in the title, nothing within. Reposting spaces, won't uncancel shares. Twitter likes don't restore what used to be there. That used to be us, now we're class 9, watching the chart while we wave goodbye. Unlimited hype dates, never check out. Patty books are for kids, keep the fairy tales out. Why are you trading without me? Why are you trading without me?
It's a banger. It's such a banger.
I think this is a good segue from our performing artist, AI Platinum.
I love it.
Why don't
so
you
much.
go ahead and take this one away since it's your post?
Oh, well, so, okay. I think it was like 4 or so days ago, people were like, oh, nobody knows what's going to happen, blah, blah, blah. Like, it's a big mystery. And I was like, well, actually, the plan administrator is probably going to file another extension to object to claims because it expires in September.
Yeah.
I'm like, and we'll probably get an update then. And then, 3 days later, that's exactly what happened. So here it is again. He's once again filing another extension to object to claims because he still has a whole lot of claims to go through. And we have an update of what's going on. And then there are some new paragraphs. So this is the new one filed on August 29th. And paragraphs 6 and 7 are new paragraphs that we have not seen before, where he is, hold on, because I can't see that one. So let me pull up the one that I have.
Right.
Okay. So he's saying, okay, well, you know how we've been seeing a lot of confusion, I guess you could say, with
right.
Like, what does this have to do with the old companies like the IP and blah, blah, blah. Like, he makes it very clear in paragraph 6, again, that this has nothing to do with all the sales that they've already had, that they've already sold everything. And then paragraph 7, another reminder about interests and equity interests and how
they don't exist.
Never coming back.
They're not even going to be able to pay 6th Street in full.
Right. That's still the whole thing. Number 7 was added just to shut Curzon up, you think?
Shut up a lot of people, I think.
Well, so one of the differences between the last request that he made to extend the time that they have to object to claims, and then this one is the last time he was saying that they still had to object to equity claims that got submitted, like people who had equity claims, and since then he's already done that, and those are gone. So maybe it's just like a...
Oh, I see what you're responding to now. There you go. I'm always slow with the chat.
So, I mean, it could absolutely be that, but then again, last time... I mean, yeah, it could be that.
And it hasn't been just Curzon, because we had more stuff from Jake and his like hour-long PowerPoint presentations of nonsense.
Well, not only that, but he did also call out MJL in the last one in the paragraph of equity claims. He was like, blah, blah, blah. About that. We already know what happened there. So who knows? I don't know.
Yeah. Not the only Bed Bath & Beyond thing we have going on. We did have an update in the Cohen swing trade case. Some back and forth discovery issues that have come up. Basically, without getting too in depth into these documents, the plan administrators, or the old estate, is asking for Cohen's records in relation to the people that he had on the board, saying that it's important because it lets us know, since they were acting on Cohen's benefit, if they did any trades, we want to be able to include those trades in what we're going after Cohen for. Cohen saying, since the director by proxy,
by deputization
was rejected by the court, that they should not be able to get that discovery.
Absolutely not. And not only that, but like, when does someone else on the board, their trades ever have to do with you? That is so stupid.
I get where they're trying to say the argument is that they were put on the board to act as surrogates for Ryan Cohen, but I can also get
but not
the argument you're saying that they're independent-ish directors.
Like, if he was trading on his own, what does that have to do with him? You know what I mean? Like, they should sue him if they think that he's doing some sort of 16B violation. They go, you know what I mean? Like, that's just so dumb.
Then we had some additional Bed Bath & Beyond adjacent related drama. So the whole, I posted this not realizing the whole situation behind it, because last we left off with Ramiz. He was promising to give $20 million to baggies. I think it doesn't take much to, doesn't take much to understand that was never fucking happening.
Yeah, and the guy in the picture is still alive.
Yeah, they're trying to make the illusion that some bill was granted money.
I can barely hear you.
Yeah, your microphone is garbage.
Really?
And y'all think I'm mean.
Let me check something here.
Well, now it's sounding okay.
I don't know what happened there.
Yeah, it was just fading away. Now you're okay.
I think it might have had something to do with Restream.
Yeah,
tends to be
Restream
junk
for
at
sure.
times.
I mean, your song is still playing in my head. I just want you to know that.
Yeah, same.
But like that he like disappeared, and then we get from Joseph that he's been called. been called out by even people in the local area that he's full of shit, and no one and that's why he had to disappear, is because like you tried to pull this stunt, and now not only is the money not showing up, but he's apparently again pissing off people in the community. Who could have been shocked and surprised that the guy who was in an article admitting that he had to be bailed out by mommy from his credit card debt, that he's not as rich as he claims he is. No surprise there.
Well, yeah, and that guy is not dead.
Yeah. And then we got another great Marcus moment. Marcus is my new
Marcus
favorite.
So
like,
so
I don't even follow or am involved in
one
any of this
one of us.
But watching him crush PPC
better than
every
us.
opportunity.
Better than us.
Sure.
Yeah.
True.
Poor Marcus too. Like, he didn't even get there till after they bought the Bed Bath & Beyond IP. So it's like not even his fault that they own it. And he has
And I
all
think
these,
he was genuinely trying to be nice to them in the beginning.
Of course he was. It seemed like he was. And now he's just over it.
I just really think, I don't know what part of it is he got the Bed Bath & Beyond old ticker to troll them or to exploit them.
No, I don't think it was to exploit them. I think there was some controversy around Beyond Meat, and especially because Beyond Meat is going out of business, and
don't say out of business. Stop it. They're not going out of business.
Well, they're bankrupt.
Ish.
I don't think they're bankrupt yet.
Kinda.
But they're really close.
They were really close, right? Because of Beyond Meat and Beyond, and so I think it was actually Gennaro who mentioned take it back to that or whatever.
I think a few different people, I was thinking it too.
Did.
Oh man, people were replying oh, you could do the funniest thing. And
I think ultimately it was probably just a
troll.
Well, no, I think it was probably a smart business decision. I mean, if you're
it's just recognizable
running, right?
It's more recognizable than Overstock.
You bought it for the brand recognition, right? And maybe enough time has passed that it's not as tainted as it was, right? And you're really leaning hard into the Bed Bath & Beyond part. And
especially since they've got that partnership with Kirkland's now, where they're doing the actual stores.
Right. I think the kind of trolling those folks was probably just bonus. But I respect his troll game.
But it did, but it didn't stop the clowns from being clownish.
Well, they were so obsessed with ticker was preserved.
And now they've shifted. Now that it wasn't preserved.
Yeah.
Well, of course they did immediately, within minutes. And then it was the QSIP, and it's okay, the QSIP was deleted.
The QSIP is different.
Yeah.
Well, it was also canceled.
And it's in the plan. It says it. None of this was a mystery to anyone. So anyone who believed that they were going to wake up on the day, what was it, the 29th that it changed over, and all of a sudden be rich, you guys are just stupid. I'm sorry.
Yes, Weeble, I do know there's no trading on Monday. Thank you. I'm pretty aware of that. I don't work Monday. I know there's going to be no trading Monday. Thank you. So yeah, we did see some meme stock activity that happened, and then it just immediately evaporated because fundamentals of the company right now are a bit sour. They're still losing money.
They're not great. However, Marcus only gets paid if the stock goes over $30.
Well, they got a long way to go.
Got a long way to go, for sure.
Yeah. So keep working at that, Marcus. Working on creating that shareholder value.
We believe in you.
Yes. Unlike some of the people in the Bed Bath & Beyond community.
Yeah.
Not the only grift going on. Whoops, I gotta switch back to screen share here. And so we've got more of the PP grift going on.
Oh my God. Did you see he has a card of me?
No.
Yeah.
I need to get on that level again. Work up my infamy score.
I would like 10%, please. No, I'm just kidding. I don't want any of this grift. But yeah, I thought that was kind of funny.
So to transition from...
Oh, your mic is bad again. Can't hear you.
It's connected and everything.
There you are. Yep, you're back.
Right.
It's because when the AC kicks on, for some reason, it freaks out everything on Restream. It works fine when I'm using OBS, but for some reason, I don't know if it's something with the power supply. When I'm using Restream, for some reason, it just decides to DC everything briefly while the AC kicks on. I don't get it. I don't know. But as a transition from Bed Bath & Beyond to our next subject, we're gonna have. We're going to do this lead in, and then I'm going to explain why we're here.
Yikes. Why would anyone do that angle on purpose?
I don't understand.
Bro.
Yikes.
You got to give it up, bro. You want to hear my story? I've been the victim of short selling. I've been the victim of private equity and YouTubers and TikTokers that give out misinformation.
So you're a victim of yourself? Well, I can believe that. You're a victim of your own idiocy. I'll go along with that one. Agreed.
I'll concede with that.
Yeah.
That's you, PPCs. You told everybody about Bed Bath & Beyond. This dude.
Wasn't he also at one point hyping Bed Bath & Beyond because Ryan Cohn was involved?
Not that I remember.
Because I swear there were live streams of that. I've seen them. I like, maybe he wasn't bought into it, but he was definitely promoting the whole merger of Bed Bath and the Jamaica thing. So
oh God, was he actually?
Yes, I had those when the whole remember on the old channel. I'll have to dig it back up, or I'll throw it in here when we splice the clip. But when I did the death of Jamaica thing, when the trademark lapsed, I found clips of him promoting the whole Bed Bath GameStop merger into Jamaica. So dude, fucking what? You were just as grifty as he is. The only difference is that you changed your tune when Ryan Cohen left.
Yeah.
Anyway. Backed you, and all this money you guys spent on each other and meet and greets and all that shit. Bill Pulte needs to answer. Ian Carroll needs to answer. Vivek Vinswamy needs to answer. You need to answer. Yeah. What a joke. All of you.
I agree with those statements. They would sound a lot better if they weren't coming from Marantz. So, well, Manuel says, yeah, he apparently was at one point. I can't verify that, but I know that he was promoting some of those talking points. So, there you go. This is going to be going into a segment of Marantz stuff. This is a time lapse of all of his previous we're going to rocket moments. But what we're really here for is Marantz as of late, and I don't know, I know you guys probably don't follow him as much, but I have a video downloader to download his stuff because he has a habit of deleting shit, especially when he's caught in some of his lies, or moving it into, members only so it can't be seen. So I just have a habit of downloading it now so he can't, hide his previous shit from the viewing public. I'll at least have it if I want to bring it up, if I wanted to. But yeah, Manuel says that he had traded Bed Bath & Beyond, but I'm not surprised. But he recently has been making a lot of videos. We'll put a pin into that. We'll get to that in a second. But at some point, I'm going to have to do a video of his Gish galloping through, stock market fallacies about we're in the end times and only GameStop will save you. But I found a few that I think are quite possibly the stupidest. So let's go right ahead. This one's 9 seconds, should be real quick.
When the world markets are hitting all-time highs, China, last 10 years, boom, all-time high.
Okay, first of all, not all-time high. I mean, you can look at the clear line here across, not all-time high in the last 10 years. And also, if you go
this guy thinks that Apple doesn't make any money.
Not all-time highs. And in fact, even last 10 years, even here, this is the mark. There's the all-time high. Doofus can't even read a fucking chart. So there you go. One down. Okay, this one's really funny. We won't need to spend much time on it because even though it's 3 minutes, he gets it out real quick, his stupid concept here.
Huh. Let me guess. The whole economy is crashing except for your GameStop. Well, that's if you know how to evaluate the whole.
Okay, who cares about his whole value thing? The whole concept that he's agreeing with here is dumb. Friday, GameStop was down 1.6%. S&P was only down 0.6%. Dow Jones was only down 0.2%. And while, yes, NASDAQ did drop a whole percent, it was only 1.15. So actually, GameStop underperformed the rest of the market. I don't get this. Like Platinum, you're usually pretty rational about the whole GameStop thing here. So I don't get this like need to like confirm, especially given, like you said, based on last earnings, that they were really close to improving and maybe getting operationally profitable. Why do you need to like manufacture bullshit when the company looks like it could potentially be getting better? Like,
why is he so close to the camera?
I know, what's with all the terrible angles? I don't know.
When you use your phone for the fucking...
So bad.
Like, get a stand, put it away from you, put some space. Like, we don't need to see...
I feel like his like comparisons to like Amazon and Apple and like sort of like picking and choosing and like cherry picking various numbers and stuff. It's just, I don't see the point of doing that. Like, it's not credible. You know what I mean? I don't know. I can't speak to why he would do that, so I have no idea.
Yeah. It's not what I want. Go away. So...
Like, if there's going to be good things, like, there's good things, right? Like, when someone is, like, just saying, like, this is good, that's good, everything's good, it's like, you can't really...
Like, just talk about good things.
When they say something, because it's like, okay, everything's good, like, then nothing.
Are we sure there's no room for improvement anywhere?
Yeah.
Surely it can be just because we're at a peak. Please explain. Thank you. So let me explain this a couple of different ways. One, what causes corrections in stock markets? It's usually monetary policy. Right, so
not really. Monetary policy usually lags financial crisis.
What?
Like usually the reason that there is there's usually some black swan event, and it usually has very little to do with economic policy.
COVID.
Yeah, pandemics, and then monetary policy is what actually fixed that. So
what is he talking about?
Like during the great financial crisis, it was risky loans that were under collateralized and endemic everywhere. And like that had nothing to do with monetary policy. It had everything to do with risk allocation. You had like, I need to get one of the books that I've read about the last 5 great American financial crises and what all caused them. And more often than not, it's not been monetary policy. It's been
terrorist
some sort of new financial product that was misused and caused a serious incident because it was poorly understood because it was new and it fucked shit up. Like, I just...
Or I don't know, somebody flies planes into the towers. Like, I mean, it's not monetary policy, that's for sure.
Yeah, monetary policy, like the whole like thing that Trump apes about, the Fed being too late. That's not just a Jerome Powell thing. That's just like usually the Fed in general, because their data is backward looking. So usually it has very little to do with monetary policy. Monetary policy is late to change to the problem. So like, whatever.
Correct. And their changes take a bit to go through the system.
Right.
So
this one here is...
So according to this chart here, the blue line are going to be the financial managers right there. And this is what they deemed overvalued. 91% of them think the market is currently overvalued.
Okay,
Sherlock.
read the fucking chart.
Everybody thinks the market is overvalued.
Okay, first of all, read the chart. It says U.S. equities are overvalued, and I can't believe I'm needing to explain this, but Marantz, financial markets are more than just American equities, and the light blue line is foreign equities. They're emerging market equities, in fact. So the dark blue is U.S. equities, light blue is emerging markets, which are seen as undervalued. So
you just go look at the PE and stuff like these.
Read
Impossible, like, he's hard to listen to, bro.
Yeah. there was one where he was yelling at Tony De Niro over like SG&A as a percentage of stuff, but I just can't deal with Marantz yelling. If you want to look up, it's on GameStop. But when he gets into his like screamy, angry mode, I just have no time for it. This one's kind of an interesting one because it's funny. I'll let you, Platinum, you're the GameStop expert, so I'll let you see I'll let you guess where the hypocrisy is.
I've got thousands of people who watch the live stream. For all the people out there, I've got thousands of people who watch, and you know what they're looking for? They're looking for something that has net asset value, NAV. What is
guarantee you he just learned that word right before the stream.
I bet he's about
the multiple that you're going to buy something for? Right? Like if I'm going to go to MicroStrategies and I'm going to walk in, I'm going to go, you know, I want to buy this company. I want to buy this security. I want to buy this stock. Then you find out it's just backed by Bitcoin. All the debt in the world, everything, and it's given a 2.7 multiple, 2.1 multiple. Then you say to yourself, well, why would I be overpaying for an asset that I could just be given? Right?
So is he trying to say we can't buy Bitcoin and treasuries on our own?
Thank you. Or just U.S. treasuries. You know, that would be a not a great nav to just own assets that you could own outright yourself. Like the hypocrisy there is fucking hilarious. Like GameStop borrowed part of the MicroStrategy strategy by selling convertible debt.
0% convertible notes.
But isn't he the same one that said that they don't have any debt?
Yeah. Well.
Did he?
Yeah, that used to be his big shtick that GameStop has no debt.
It's
I know, but does he still say that though?
Didn't he say it's because it's zero coupon, it's not debt? I'm like,
oh, well, I know some people have said it. I don't remember if he's said
is.
it, but I know some people have tried to make that argument. It's really dumb. This one is really funny before we get to the last bit here of why Marantz might be doing a bunch of videos recently, but this one is just such levels of dumb. I had to bring it up.
This guy's clueless. We're talking about Cracker Barrel, and he goes, BlackRock's the majority shareholder. What else do you need to know? This is so stupid, man. Like, educate yourself.
He's so close to being
BlackRock owns every single stock for a reason. It has nothing to do with having influence on the company itself. The reason why BlackRock and Vanguard own every single share is because the bulk of their investors are accredited investors. They're hedge funds. They're pension plans. Those pension funds and pension plans and the hedge funds, they all invest into certain companies. So what do? BlackRock invest into those companies to hold up their own investors.
They're
it's a way
index
of
funds.
setting up a plateau for your investors, right? I'm going to hold up my investors so that they can, in turn, put their money back into us. It's the market. It's called round tripping.
Oh, my God. You fucking don't know what round tripping is, dude.
They're index funds. Like, they follow the index.
Yeah, they're index fund trading, but he's trying to say it's round tripping. They're doing all this index buying to prop up the market for themselves, and it's so dumb. And then he calls it round tripping. That's not round tripping. Round tripping is when you give you do a business transaction that is a net zero value to inflate your own book. Like I sell apples I buy apples from Amy, and then she buys them back for me. That's round tripping. Like unbelievable levels of fucking idiocy.
So he doesn't know that they're index funds?
Well, he seems to somewhat know, but he then says that they just have these index funds to float the market so that they can, inflate the value of stocks through index funds, I guess, is his theory, which is so fucking retarded. I just can't. It's really dumb. But like he has all the time for these videos. I wonder why that is. Maybe this live stream from today we can get
life's amazing for me, actually. I'm probably the happiest I've been in a long time. And I just keep living life. And I committed myself to YouTube. YouTube committed themselves to me, and my platform's as big as it's ever been. Oh. And I'm able to kind of work my way out of what I've been doing my whole life. And
oh, that's a funny way to say you were fired. I'm just kind of working around what I've been doing my whole life.
Committed to me. What does that mean?
Well, like he's because he's a YouTube partner, he thinks that means YouTube is committed to him. We're a team.
What's a YouTube partner? I don't even know.
Partners when you can get revenue from YouTube.
Well, you just monetized.
Yeah. And because there's this like thing that went out, Tony also got it, that where you could get the little the director's thing from YouTube with a little dry erase marker and stuff like that. And he thinks, oh, that means that YouTube is like, we're solid. We're on the same team and there's support. Like, that's just shit that they give out to all members. Like, but of course his ego in his head, oh, YouTube and us, we're a team.
This is like quitting your job to be a full-time trader.
Yeah, pretty much.
Or if you're Michael, never having a job at all and being a full-time trader.
Oh boy. So we can't go too far without ever mentioning the artist formerly known as Mullen. We did get an update from one of their filings that they did finally get a notice from NASDAQ. Below listing requirements.
Finally.
Yeah,
that's great. What do they
hopefully
have?
They'll actually delist them.
What do they say? How long did they give
them? Isn't 180 days?
Let's see here. Notifying
the rules changed. It was supposed to be once they went under. If they went under $1,
they're less than the $35 million minimum required market cap.
Yeah.
For the last 30 days, the company was provided a 180 calendar days or until August 25th, 2025. On August 26th, the company received a written notice from staff stating that the company has not regained compliance with the listing rules as described in the notice. Unless the company timely requests a hearing before the hearing panel, the company's securities will be subject to suspension/delisting.
We're already past that.
As of August 29th, a total of 30,000 shares are outstanding.
30 million.
Or 30 million, yeah. I don't know why I was thinking 30,000. That's silliness. But yeah, Mullen doing very Mullen things. Hopefully they will be gone, as in gone.
Well, then what is he going to do?
That's a great question. Maybe he was right about that being the last reverse split, because maybe they'll get this in before they get delisted. And that they won't probably be able to do any reverse splits to, game the system for money. We did have an update this week. The trustee has put in a sell motion. They managed to make a deal with certain IP that was done by certain people.
Like 3 employees that used to work there.
Yes.
I guess they were working on some project that has to do with that IP, and they were also allegedly put in a claim for $12.5 million for like a breach of contract for their employment. And they said they would get rid of that claim and
take a small amount of money
for $15,000.
If they get the IP.
Right.
Which, there you go.
So they
that is
how
the.
Much? They took how much for the sale?
$15K.
And the withdrawal of the $12 million claim against the company.
Yep.
So that means that if this goes through, which that will be, that'll be put up. I think the hearing is in late September. Yeah, September 30th.
Yeah.
That's when the hearing will be, and I don't know of any reason why that would.
Yeah, if there's no objections, it'll definitely go through.
Yeah, and it's a good deal for both parties because they'll get their IP that they wanted, and the company will get rid of some pretty pricey claims against them.
Yeah.
So that's that. As far as that's concerned, this was an interesting. Did you guys see this one by Trader Zero? This post going into the different torchlight things, and something to do with the U3 hole and. And it's talking about that. Oh yeah, the other thing that we're about ready to get into, but I totally forgot forgot about.
Mike's going out.
This thing.
Oh, the additional funding, yeah.
The additional funding that comes from Greg McCabe's son, but it's not a related party transaction.
Well, it doesn't come from him. He's the one who
managing the fund.
Opened the LLC in July.
In July.
Correct.
That's it. According to them, that's it.
Yeah. So that means that it's not his money. It could be other investors' money.
Well, that's what they're saying. That it's not his money. That
Right.
it is other investors' money.
The question is, what other investors and who would want to waste money on this shitco?
Well, with an 18% interest, and also
a guaranteed dividend.
3 million preferred shares that also get an 18% dividend starting next year.
Yep. Where are they getting the money to pay that?
They'll probably take out more debt.
I don't know, but the 65,000 people waiting for their dividends are
how
now
much
behind these preferred shares.
These preferred shares that actually have a dividend, and all the other
Guaranteed.
preferred shareholders
18%.
got changed to be common shareholders through a corporate action. Like, yikes.
Yikes.
I'm just not seeing how the maths. That's my issue.
Maybe
Not
it was
well.
Superman again, right? Like he's getting all his
Well,
money,
then he took the
dollars plus his interest plus his $10,000 a month that he was getting. So I mean, he made out.
Oh yeah. That's the real winner here. Obviously, is Greg McCabe, but like.
Well, he took what did he do? He
C-plan.
like took the backseat to this, right?
Oh, you think this is to pay back C plan?
No,
he already said they're paying back C plant with some of the money.
C plant is
so it's just like shuffling deck chairs on the Titanic. You're taking out debt to cover old debt to cover other debt to
100%.
Exactly. And that's probably what they're going to do. Look, see, it says other uses for these funds will be the retirement of previously disclosed third-party debt obligation and the principal. That's literally what they're doing.
Amazing.
Fantastic. But they also say they're going to be doing their financials at some point. So that's good.
Is that we'll be doing our financials soon trademark?
Yes, soon. Exactly.
Some people will get that joke. So more news from the Missouri Secretary of State. Apparently they're going to look into the MMTLP thing. There's only one thing that the Secretary of State of the state of Missouri could possibly look into in this situation for which they have jurisdiction of. Only one thing. What is that, guys? It's the only thing here.
SEC complaint?
Like
what did you say?
There's only one thing that a Secretary of State of the state of Missouri would have jurisdiction over. What? In this whole situation. We discussed it previously.
John Berta? I don't know.
Oh, okay. That's the only fucking thing.
The complaint against John Berta? Yeah.
That's the only fucking thing. The rest of this is just theater. It's just like political theater.
Well, whatever. Good. I hope they get their answers.
Yeah, and I hope they go after the right people.
We all know what they're going to find.
It's going to disappoint some other people, but
I mean, it's not like a jack in the box. Like we all know what they're going to find.
When are these politicians that get involved in this, or when are they going to learn? Because every single one that's like supported this like MMTLP thing, they go through the motions because they see how many people are engaged, they see how much views, they think that this is something they can translate into a political movement or something. And like these people only care about one thing. They're one issue people. They care about their fucking conspiracy theory. And the minute that you go, see, this is what happened. I did what you wanted, guys. They immediately turn on them and they become, the lynch mob comes after them. It's happened every single time, and not a single politician has learned the story, apparently.
Hey, can you block that person in the chat, please?
Oh, yeah, I see that. I can handle that on the YouTube side here real quick.
Mm-hmm.
See, the funny thing is, which chat was it?
YouTube.
Yeah, I don't see them on there.
It was
YouTube.
I deleted it.
YouTube probably saw that and was like, "Yeah, bye."
Yeah, it
since I yanked it from Restream, like the YouTube Restream connectivity is a lot better than these other platforms. So if I ban them on Restream, it probably banned them on YouTube too, before I even got over there. Next up, there are some brief updates in the case with Jen. There was the motions in opposition we already talked about last week. There's a new one along with a new miscellaneous brief that she filed about the insider enrichment and things like that. I haven't actually gotten to read it. Have either of you guys gotten to?
Which one is this one?
This is her motion that was filed this week about
evidence of insider. Oh yeah, I think I did like skim over this, and I'm pretty sure this is the one where she talks about how much everyone made.
Yeah. See, the problem I'm having with this is I get what she's trying to do, and I'm not a lawyer, but having seen a lot of this, like some of this stuff probably should wait until after you've overturned the stay, because the continual responses back from the other lawyers is like, this case is still stayed, and like, stop filing stuff, which, I mean, technically they're right. This is stuff that you should file after the stay has been lifted. So just focus on getting the court to lift the stay, and then you can introduce all of this stuff. That that's the only point that I would go with, because if these lawyers get successful in their arguments that she's just being like almost sob-sit level, then the court's going to come down on her harder. So cut off their ability to be able to make these arguments and just focus on the removing the stay, and then you can get to submitting your evidence again. Just my like 2 cents for what it's worth. Again, only 2 cents, but you know, it's a commentary channel. I'm going to give some commentary. What was it here on the Spears one that I wanted to go over? Motion for leave to file supplementary early discovery. I'm pretty sure that's going to get rejected. I believe this is the one where he asked for an extension and was denied as to the response to the SEC's motion to dismiss. And FINRA was granted an extension of time to respond to him. So some brief update on that case. No, Spears is her, correct? Because that's Danielle Spears. Sorry. So that's that one. Oh my gosh, there's just so many of these. Trying to keep track of it is so in the Kelly case, we finally got some updates on that. Defendant FINRA has requested judicial notice in support of its motion to dismiss first amended complaint. So what's the judicial? This was judicial notice about some of the other cases that, because at this point, there's been so many cases that FINRA is basically like, here, judge, let me save you some time. These other courts have already ruled on this stuff. Why don't you just go ahead and do that? We already have precedent for all this shenanigans. Don't waste your time. So then they filed their motion to dismiss the amended complaint at DI 7, and then a motion to stay discovery, as I guess that Mr. Kelly has been filing for discovery, and they're like, yeah, you don't get that yet, Slick. So that's pretty much
Kelly. Is this a new one?
Kelly is the newest. Is the newest one. He's only.
Oh, that's the other guy. Okay, I know you're talking about.
He's the
one
guy
that you retweeted and he did it over, or is this something different?
No, this is something new, and he's only filing against FINRA, and he's the one who was one of the MMTL.
He was tweeting a lot, and then he was like, "I'm going to stop tweeting."
Well, yeah. Well, the reason behind that, and I'll back out of this for a second. The reason he did that is because Puzzled Raccoon was asking for, hey, does anyone have the case number for this or what court it's out of? And so I did a Pacer search and I narrowed it down based on the header. And okay, he's only suing FINRA. So let me go look up if there's any recent cases by FINRA. And his case popped up. And then I posted to Puzzled saying, this is the case number, this is the court it's out of. And he's like, oh, the shills are suddenly interested in this. It's like, no shit, dipshit. You put it out there that you were suing someone. I can do a Pacer search. It's not that fucking hard. And that's why he's probably stopped tweeting as much about it, because now he's basically doxed himself. Congratulations.
Well,
look, if you're going to file a public lawsuit, maybe don't post about it if you don't want to be known.
Yeah, or like, why sue FINRA? Like, sue anyone else. But it's so pointless.
I think it's just like a thing for them now because FINRA has immunity, right? So somebody...
Yeah, obviously there's something shady going on.
And they think that FINRA is the root of all of their problems, the hiccups. And so, I don't know. Like, they're just... You want to spend your money doing that? Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, go for it. But it's every time it's going to be unsuccessful because they have absolute immunity. So it's like so pointless. You're wasting like filing fees. You're wasting time you'll never get back. But go for it.
Yeah, I guess if that's how you want to spend your money, you go right ahead. We also have Axier motion for miscellaneous relief. Court records indicate that plaintiff Axier and Marcus C. Miranda plaintiffs failed to comply with the court's August 5th, 2025 text order granting motion to leave. So this is basically they didn't file their amended complaint in a timely fashion, and the court they then asked for an extension, and the court saying you now have till September. You better do it this time, or we'll kind of we'll kind of force you to go back to the original complaint that you had, and we won't use your amended complaint as far as it goes to the motion to dismiss. So you may want to get on that. As we saw what happened with Ethan in his SOBSIT case, if you keep extending and forgetting to deal with the court as to an amended complaint, the court will just eventually say, nah, you waited so long, you don't get your amended complaint. Have a nice day. Don't waste our time. And then this one is the peace. Is the E silent on that second E? I don't know. Either one of you want to help me out on how to pronounce that last name?
Peace?
Peace. There we go. So it's like double E. Miscellaneous objection. What was this? Defendant Financial Industry Regulations Authorities objection to plaintiff's notice of supplemental evidence in support of third amended complaint. Defendant Financial Industry submits an objection. Notice of supplemental evidence. While notice is not explicitly directed to FINRA's motion to dismiss, it is yet another improper filing submitted purporting to further brief issues that are already the subject of the full briefing. So basically, it's FINRA saying you've already fully briefed this case, so you don't get to add more things to it. And I think this was related to this supplemental brief that was filed. What is this about? Judicial notice. Oh, this is about the McCabe's reply all.
Oh, reply all gate.
Gosh, like that keeps just more. It just keeps bringing laughs, more and more laughs. But that's all we have for MMTLP right now. Any closing thoughts on the whole MMTLP situation as of right now? Because it seems like we're still spinning our wheels until we figure out where things are going with discovery or where things are even going in the SEC case. Because I don't think any of these cases are going anywhere fast. It will be interesting because, we do know previously that the metamaterials bankruptcy has talked about, well, we may, go after McCabe. So that could also lead interesting places.
And or an Exbridge.
Yeah.
So that will be very interesting to see how they spin that situation.
Yeah, it'll be like the Bed Bath & Beyond people with the estate suing Ryan Cohen.
Ryan Cohen, right? Yeah. But yet Ryan Cohen's involved. Like, okay, suing himself. Totally. Forgot to mention it too. Like,
it's really weird.
Right.
I have to ask you guys, did you guys listen to this live stream at all? Because I'm going to be honest, I didn't.
I did not.
Okay. Did you say you did, Platinum?
I did listen to it, yeah.
Okay. Can you give us maybe nothing new? Because from what I understood, they kicked the can down the road again. So they had X Markets News, puffing it up for the past couple months, only for them to kick it down the road another month.
I did see Wes tweet out to clarify, because the baggies only know a couple of words and they're mostly just naked short, and
he's pointing out that proving naked short shit's a little too hard.
And he basically said, over 2 decades I've never been able to prove naked shorting, so we're switching to spoofing. In my opinion. And they were like, what's that? I don't understand. Are we still going after the naked shorts?
Case that I could find where he was claiming naked shorting was the ASTI one that he got sanctioned from.
So there's a reason he doesn't do that anymore.
And then there was the other one, the pet, whatever it is, pet something or other, that the SEC sent in an amicus brief to basically teach him what settlement and clearance is.
Well, I think the spoofing, somebody's going to have to.
He filed a lawsuit, and the SEC came in and went, "Actually, dude."
I feel like that's the same thing that's going to happen with the spoofing. It's high frequency trading and.
Well, spoofing, he's been somewhat successful so far. Made it past the motion to dismiss, so that's already
fine. But it's market makers on the bid and the ask. That's what they're looking at.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting what happens at the end of the discovery, and once it's done, if we start seeing summary judgments come out of this. It's been 4 years now on Northwest Biopharma, or 3 years or whatever, and they're still in discovery.
He said it's a battle of the experts. That is one thing I remember from the call. That he is the experts saying whatever.
The experts, the $25,000 experts.
Stay tuned as we hope to file in the near future. Like, this is another soon.
Yeah, soon TM.
I even think X Market News, whatever, put a post out saying that they weren't going to post about it until it was
good. Like, how much shit did they have to get for hyping it before?
Either that or Wes was like, please stop posting it.
I would if I was Wes, I would be too, because it only draws more attention to how little he's doing.
Well, maybe don't make an announcement in June saying that you're in your final review. Like, if you're not really in a final review, don't say that. Or if you say you have meritorious claims against whatever, fucking file something. Don't just say that.
Right. Oh, so now we get to the whole.
Oh yeah, Mark was on the call too. Speaking of these guys.
Well, and also the situation has kind of changed. Well, this is the Florida one that more services went out. In fact, Michael Carter has waived service, so he will be appearing soon. Waived service means that you didn't get proper service, but you're aware of the case and you decide you don't need to serve me. I will show up. Thanks. So everything's starting to come together for that RICO case. Meanwhile, it looks like things are going forward. So summary judgment was granted as to the company, the LZG, but it looks like Moe and Ritz are actually responding to this. We've got some motions in opposition. So this appeal does not seem to be done in the Second Circuit, even though they made it sound like it was done. It seems like it's proceeding. And maybe I just misread what, Mark was posting, but it seemed like everyone interpreted it as they were done with this and they were getting the shares back and everything. So maybe it's not as conclusively done, because it sure seems like there's action here.
I thought they were going to arbitration. Maybe it wasn't this one then. Maybe it was something
else.
Else.
This appeal is oh my goodness. This whole thing is a crazy thing. So the arbitration, they were trying to get I think it was either the arbitration award or something going on with it. So they brought it into federal court. And as soon as it came into federal court, there was a ruling from the circuit court. And then Moe and Ritz and LZG, I believe, appealed it to the Second Circuit. And that's where we're at right now.
All right.
And in fact, here we've got like this sealed motion to dismiss Genius Group is on behalf of appellant. So there must have been a ruling in the circuit court against Genius Group, because that's the only reason they'd be the appellant. The appellee, is Michael Thomas and Moe and Curly and I'm sorry, wrong group.
Oh, whoops.
Yeah, no one got that joke. Okay,
I got it.
So the circuit court ruled against Genius Group on something, and now they're appealing. Okay, this case is already just like, is it done? Is it not? Mark, I could have sworn said it was done, but I guess it's not done. All right, so on we go. The next one is the real interesting one. I kind of pinged you on this one, Platinum, because this was the lawsuit you brought to us about the whole patent dispute between the GBB drink and the artist formerly known as FSD Biosciences, aka Quantum Biopharma.
AKA Unbuzzed.
Yeah, aka Unbuzzed. There were 3 orders that came, and this is the first time I've ever seen something like this. We have a bunch of filings from the 20th to the 27th. We didn't get even a redacted copy. They just fucking sealed everything, including 3 orders.
Yeah, why? What? Can you see it on Pacer or?
No, I looked on Pacer, and that's exactly what it says. System entry, docket entry, and then the docket number is restricted or sealed until further notice. Which, as we can tell, thanks to how court listener is able to snag things off of the server, we know 3 of them were orders that have been sealed.
Yeah, that's weird. Why would they do that? Do you know?
If it's something that requires some level of privacy, but even then, you would think that the orders would just have.
You would think they would just redact it, right?
I don't know what's going on there, but real interesting. That's the first time I've seen something like that. We have also the song. This is the song that never ends as it goes on and on, my friends. Nelson Willis. He's finally starting to get sanction warnings for his filings onto the docket.
Wow.
2 of them, in fact. He still was supposed to file something by the 29th. I don't see anything, but maybe finally this is over, hopefully. But, maybe he will get his certiorari out of the Supreme Court, who takes 80 cases a year on average. But I'm not holding my breath too hard on that one. We do have some final meme stock stuff. Hey, did you guys know that on the 27th it was National Dish a Short Seller Day?
Oh yeah, I heard that.
Yeah, that was kind of news to me. I'm not and then there was this whole back and forth feud between John Hempton and Suzanne Trimbath that kind of went on all week long.
Got involved somewhere, right? Didn't she get blocked?
Who did?
Susan Trimbath, there was some back and forth with Susan Trimbath and Puzzled.
Yeah, and Susan insulted her and then blocked her.
Right.
Yeah. I remember that one because I responded to her insult with, sarcasm is lost on fucking idiots and morons. Because it was about the description in bio on Puzzled's X account about
holy shit.
Yeah.
No, Marcus just posted 3 minutes ago.
Yeah, about Tupperware.
Hey, Tupperware, who's excited to bring this back to Bed Bath & Beyond?
Oh my goodness!
I mean, somebody bought it. Somebody
bought
bought
been in it.
No, they went private. They
That's right.
Somebody bought them. So, but I mean, how many of those bankruptcy as a service folks bought Tupperware?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe he is trolling.
I
mean, if he brings Joanne Fabrics back in, like, it ropes them
then
in
maybe
somehow.
he'll be interested.
We're gonna have to give him a trophy, I think.
I mean, Joanne Fabrics might be a good thing to bring in for like.
That was another one that a lot of them lost money on.
Right.
Well, did you know that the Toys R Us ticker that they were all buying, that Squeezes that's also gone?
Went down. Yeah.
It's gone completely, which obviously I saw that coming.
Shocker.
Yeah.
Like, is the company gone?
Yeah, like they're in, like, I don't even know what they're in, like Australia's version of bankruptcy, I think, or whatever.
Okay.
Yeah, shares are being, I'm guessing, removed. They're delisted from the exchange that they were on.
This next thing, as we're heading into the trail end of the meme stock
Oh my
section,
God, he should buy the Teddy trademark.
Did
so funny.
Did you guys see this video? I'm not going to go over the whole thing, but did you guys see this? It was the 7 signs you're in a.
Oh yeah. I did see that.
No, I didn't see it.
You should see it at the end of this because it's really good. The first sign is like, welcome aboard. You know, the whole cult thing of, you know, treating you like it's a team sport kind of thing. Number 2 was win moon after the stock is already mooned. What was the last one? Oh, hedgies are fucked in short ladder attacks. Analysts are manipulating the stock price by giving lower ratings on the stock so that they can buy in cheaper. Fake bullish hype. It's removed from the Wall Street Bets subreddit. So if it becomes so cultish and, you know, group thinky that it gets banished from Wall Street Bets and has to make its own subreddit, then the hype's over and you're in
when that was happening in Super Stonk, it was a conspiracy.
And bearish DD is buried on said subreddit. So it's not a very long video, but we've got some things that I want to deal with outside the meme stock stuff, but it's a really good video. You should go watch it. It's pretty funny too. And I'm pretty sure the guy who does it is a member of Wall Street Bets. So I know when I went over it with Tony on his channel that he wasn't sure about that. At some point, he should buy the Teddy trademark from Ryan Cohen. That'll really get him going.
Well, no, I mean, that's for isn't that for Teddy Publishing?
Yeah, he should sell the books in Bed Bath & Beyond, though. Imagine.
I could only imagine.
Like, Cohen's going to troll him too? I mean, I would die.
Dead.
I would die. I would die. Marcus, if you're watching, make that happen, please.
Make it happen. Oh, there's one other thing I forgot about. I threw it on here and I accidentally put it in the
I'll make Marcus a
tweet of the
song.
week section. If it is your stupid tweet of the week, Amy, I will withdraw this and save it for then. But you did mention this right as we were going on air. And so I quickly pinned it up there. So apparently Michael thinks that Bill.
I don't even know that he thinks that. I think he's just.
For first off, dumbness from AMC Baggy Travis. I'm sorry, I have to delineate the fact that there are 2 Baggy Travises. So this is AMC Baggy Travis. Should consider
not buying
Pulte homes until Pulte makes Trump go after naked short sellers, which is so much dumb. Like, first of all, Pulte Homes kicked Bill Pulte off the board because he was such a useless piece of shit. So he has nothing to do with them other than the name. And it's just, his family's company. And then Michael said that Pulte sued Doug Sifu, which is fucking
got
news
rid of
to
him.
me. And got rid of him.
Ocelot wanted to reply, show me the docket, and he can't because he's blocked. But
Michael blocked Ocelot? What did he have to do to get that privilege? I
don't know. He doesn't even block me, so
yeah.
I don't know. But I don't really interact with him.
I need to ask Ocelot what was the secret sauce on getting blocked by Michael.
And then he says, which I'm sure a lot of people didn't know was him.
Didn't know because it didn't happen, and it never happened.
Never.
The closest he came was he asked the court.
He wasn't
for a
even
subpoena,
an activist investor. He owed like $1,000 worth of vert,
which is maybe 23 shares at the time. So
it's
like,
bullshit.
what activist investor? And so like, he never sued them, and Michael will never produce the docket because it doesn't fucking exist. And the closest that Bill ever came to such things was he was going to subpoena Doug, but never sent out the subpoena, even though Doug was right there in the state and the court would have had jurisdiction over him, but he was too much of a whipped bitch to do it. He instead sent it to me and didn't even complete that discovery because, whoops, it turns out Bill Pulte has more skeletons in his closet than anybody. And so he pussied out of his own fucking lawsuit.
Mm-hmm.
So that's that in a nutshell.
But then keep going. He's going after the head of the market corruption snake, which is the Federal Reserve. What?
Oh boy. I'm sure.
What more do you want from him? You want him to force Trump to do an executive order to ban naked short selling? Naked short selling is banned. So... If you can't see that they have been working on laying the groundwork for that, then you're retarded. The CAT system and the new SWIFT system, there are a lot of
also
pieces
taken out by the SEC
that have to be in place before they unwind the mess.
This what this sounds like is Travis is saying bad things about Pulte.
But this sounds like it's fucking Michael trying to keep everybody on the hook because BBBY started trading without them.
What it sounds like to me is like Travis is just saying mean things about Pulte and Michael's coming in to kiss ass. That's what it sounds like.
Yep.
But
he's still on the payroll, maybe.
Yeah, I know that 10K went a long way. Oh my goodness. So we can move on to, oopsies, I accidentally got rid of the screen share. I wasn't wanting to do that. You can move on to non-meme stock news. This one was an interesting one that I was bringing up with Amy before we got started. So last time we talked about an intervener that was a silly intervener who is actually filed a motion for reconsideration on his attempts to be an intervener in this lawsuit between Lululemon and Costco. And this one was interesting. I went back and forth with Amy on this. So the actual person who made the products for Costco is filing for a motion to intervene, which is really interesting. So the guy who made the products for Costco is basically suggesting that he should come in on this, which, I mean, sounds correct. And I assume to support that, you know, Costco did not violate the trademarks of, or patents. Yeah, it'd be patents, not trademarks, but the patents of Lululemon. And to basically support his interest in the product that he created for Costco. I know I'm going to be off Monday, so maybe I'll go much more in depth on this document in an extra on like Monday or something like that. But I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on it here. And, you know, maybe if Amy has time to come back on, since this is her case. But I thought it was an interesting point of the litigation. I mean, what's your thoughts, Amy?
I'm sorry. I was reading the chat. I wasn't listening.
No, so we have the motion to intervene by the person who actually designed the products for Costco that are
they should come in and they should say something and be like, hello, Lululemon, you don't control how pockets are made as well.
Yeah. Or like,
or a gusset, like, give me a break. All pants on the carpet.
Here, and here is not the
I
same.
can show you exactly how I came to the design and sewed them together. So this has been a while since we've talked on this, but apparently Alex Jones is still fighting the liquidation order by the bank. It's kind of complicated because he's in bankruptcy, but he's also got this defamation judgment against him for the Sandy Hook families, and he's desperately trying to keep InfoWars from being liquidated to pay the Sandy Hook families. So as of recently, on August 14th, 2025, the court had ordered that they be sold once again. So Alex Jones is still fighting it, but it's been on again, off again. So we had back on the 17th that he was still trying to shield the assets from judgment. And then this article on the 29th has said that the state receiver has been paused. So the state court order appointing a receiver was temporarily staying off. Texas appellate court, I guess, put a stay on it while they review it. So InfoWars for the time being not getting liquidated, I guess. I think it would be a win for intelligence everywhere if it did get liquidated and Alex Jones went off the air.
I thought somebody bought InfoWars.
Yeah, but then the bankruptcy court was overturned on it because I think the sale was deemed improper, which allowed him to backpedal out of it. And now they're trying to get it because, again, he has a judgment against him for the defamation. So a court approved it getting a receiver and being liquidated, and now he's fighting that. I still thought it would have been funny if the Onion had bought InfoWars. Because you imagine what the Onion would do with fucking the InfoWars IP?
Would have loved that.
Oh my goodness.
Or the Babylon Bee.
Another thing that I haven't gotten the chance to go over yet was we did get PayPal's motion to dismiss and memorandum of points and authorities in support thereof. I think they're also moving for arbitration, if I remember correctly. Jesus.
Didn't you say that the plaintiffs are going to get to look at the...
Yes, they did get, well, I think they moved for a motion to compel discovery. I'm pretty sure it was granted, but I don't want to say so right off the top of my head, that they were going to be able to look at the source code of Honey to determine how it operated.
How it was doing it,
yeah.
But
yeah, they're going to go ahead and move for summary judgment. Where's the argument here? Plaintiffs do not plausibly allege Article 3 standing.
PayPal.
That's the silly argument. To have standing in federal court, a plaintiff must have suffered an injury in fact that is fairly traceable to the challenged conduct of the defendant that is likely to be redressed by a favorable decision. Plaintiffs have not established Article 3 injury traceable to Honey for two reasons. First, plaintiffs allege harm from loss commission is traceable not to Honey, but rather to last click arbitration attribution rules that Honey does not control, but was aware of and exploited. Like what? Any harm from loss causation is not traceable to Honey. Plaintiffs do not plausibly allege that they would have earned more commission but for Honey's alleged conduct. Well, how can you? So basically, dip, duck, and dodge your way out of having to pay people that you fucked over. Wouldn't expect anything less from a corporation like PayPal, but whatever. I think that at the very least, even if they don't get this lawsuit, the the reputational damage to Honey for its bullshit is not going to be reversible. Like nobody's going to use that platform.
It's going to be tough, yeah.
We did get an update in the Logan Paul v. CryptoZoo case. Even after winning on the motion to dismiss, Logan Paul apparently sees that as not enough because he's going to object the report and recommendations on the motion to dismiss because it didn't go far enough in his opinion. The chief thing here is he's quibbling over the report and recommendations security claims actions, stating that it's did not sufficiently plead that that CryptoZoo is a security under the Howley standard or the Howey standard. So I'm going to disagree with that. And at some point, I'm going to bring in the, I think it was Crypto Critics Corner, where they had an SEC guy come on and explain how the Howey standard is applicable to cryptocurrencies. Or crypto tokens or projects like CryptoZoo. And the simple test is a security or some type of thing that is sold with the, the understanding of some sort of financial gain from the product. And that's roughly off the top of my head, the Howey standard. I know it's a little bit more specific than that, but I don't know how you can state that the way Logan Paul was advertising CryptoZoo as it's a fun game where you can also make money is not a security. Like, if part of the advertisement is expectation of monetary gain, congratulations, it's a security. And no way around that is going to work. But like, also this just kind of, I think, goes to Logan Paul's ego. He won on a motion to dismiss on all counts. The only difference was that they were not, dismissed with prejudice except to one count. And he can't even just take that win. It has to be an even bigger win. Like, dude, just take your win and wait for them to try again if they ever at all. It's just, I don't get it. I guess I just have to be an arrogant douchebag to understand that kind of logic, which I'm never going to understand.
That doesn't sound like a bad thing.
Yeah, I know, right? Speaking of arrogant douchebags, guess who responded in his case? Zach Morris. There's been some back and forth letters as to the COSISIS, I'm pretty sure.
Is it him or is it the others? Because he doesn't have an attorney, does he?
That's a great question. I can pull up the filing. Response by appellee John. Okay, so it is one of the others.
Mm-hmm.
Filed by appellant. Oh, wait. No, this was a response filed by appellant. So the 21st was them. Supplemental authorities by appellant. Attorney for appellees. Okay, so Ford, Lewis, McGuire, Sutton, Williams, Ryland. Appellees. Okay, let me zoom in on that a little bit. So, supplemental authorities filed by appellant via email, attorney for appellees, letter. So these are both by the appellant. United States versus Smith opinion. I'll have to look at that later. Because clearly there's another case that they're submitting as, let's see what this says. Government submits this letter regarding the Seventh Circuit's recent decision in United States versus Smith. In Smith, the defendants traded futures contracts on commodities exchanges. They employed a fraudulent scheme known as spoofing to game the system and manipulate prices for futures to their own benefit. Spoofing involves placing large orders that traders do not intend to actually execute. That's a little different than what happened here, but I get what they're saying. That if, like, there was no direct profit, it was just the manipulation they did, and actors acted on that information, but they didn't directly profit necessarily from the individuals. they're saying that that's the same as like a pump and dump. So it makes sense that no matter which way they try and, okay, so this one was by defendant appellees. So this is the one where they got the clip out of here, where they're basically saying, look, this was just a scheme to make money. We weren't scheming to defraud. Come on now, guys. There's a difference. We were scheming to take people's money. We weren't scheming
not from anyone in particular.
Yeah.
Just people in general.
Just people in general. We were just trying to defraud people in general, not specifically. There's a difference, guys. Yeah, someone send out the bat signal to Busy Brands so she can borrow this line the next time she's sucking Zach Morse's cock. Or not Busy Brands, but Junk Savvy. And that whole crew, really. Like make it understand, why does the MMTLP crew defend so hard obvious criminals like pump and dump artists?
Well, because they really want to believe that the regulators did them wrong, and so I guess that's the only way. I don't know.
Yeah, it's confusing to me.
I feel like they could probably say that the regulators did them wrong, and then also like these scumbags did people wrong as well. But I don't know.
Yeah, that requires a bit too much, I guess.
Yeah.
We also got some new stuff here about the full self-driving. They took out the vehicle's not autonomous now, guys. We had a Florida court ruling against us. So for our own legal future, we took out the whole that it's autonomous part of it. So while we're talking about that Florida lawsuit, apparently they're going to go ahead and appeal it, which is really funny because I believe in the article it says that they could have settled for like 80 million and then got a 243 million judgment against them for fighting it. And now they're trying to appeal that decision. Like, just got the backhoe out and just digging that ditch deeper and fucking deeper. Let's see here. What else do I have on here in the list? Oh, yeah. And he also has people suing him for the America's PAC thing. You know, when he was basically having that illegal lottery to give money away so that people will vote for Trump.
Yep.
Well, they're suing him because they're saying that they didn't get the money. They were promised money and they did not receive it. But let me see here. I know there was one. Oh, yeah. And so we also have in his securities exchange case that as of yesterday, the SEC is moving for summary judgment. So it could be soon that they will be getting their judgment against him, possibly if they win this motion for summary judgment. I think it's pretty black and white on those. Like the whole, like usually these trading operation things, it's pretty like, it's why they're going for summary judgment. It's pretty black and white. He did the thing. The thing was illegal. And here's, the transaction log of him doing the thing. It's kind of like swing trading, like what happened with Antara and AMC. They did the thing. They sold the shares while they were an insider because of their amount of shares that they owned. Therefore, they're guilty. There's not much else that you can really do about that. The thing is, you have to file SEC like filings about it.
Leonardo DiCaprio meme where he's like,
yeah,
what's the thing?
Yeah. Oh yeah, this one was the real fun one though from the week. Did you guys hear about the whole Social Security whistleblower thing?
Yeah, that guy he resigned. Borges.
Yes, he resigned after filing this, but basically that DOGE was walking away with a bunch of. They were taking it and putting it on an unsecure server.
That cloud, unsecure cloud. Mm-hmm.
Outside of the government control and not being able to.
Like everyone's social security number. They were saying that everyone may need to be issued a new social security number.
Because they don't know if any of this information got out.
Same thing I've ever heard.
Yeah. But let's see this one. Oh, yeah. So also, Ed, Mr. Big Balls, yeah, he's apparently being investigated by the FBI.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
For things unrelated to the Social Security stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's what I had to do because I was
this
reading.
Is for the data theft.
No, like the data theft is a separate thing. That like the whistleblower thing.
No, he's being investigated for data theft.
Sort of. What he's being investigated in is there was this group that he was a part of, or eGodly or whatever, that was basically swatting people. And there was an FBI agent that was investigating him. They doxed and harassed the FBI agent.
Wow.
And that's why they're being investigated by the FBI. This is a guy in DOGE in charge of millions of Americans' private information, just as a reminder.
And wasn't it that Elon knew about this too and hired him?
Yes. Absolutely. I don't even.
I love it here. It's great.
It's just, and then of course, like Amy said, after all this came out, that he resigned after submitting the whistleblower report, because of course, you know the way the Trump administration operates. If he had stayed, like
he's gonna catch mortgage fraud.
Well, and other shit. So, like, yeah. Some good news on the front of former people who've been on our show here. Andrew Tate. He was going to do a talk or something at an event for Misfit Boxing. And after backlash, Misfit Boxing told Andrew Tate, actually, no thanks. Similar thing also happened to his brother, Andrew Tate, who was scheduled to
Tristan.
Tristan was scheduled to appear at Sense for Fit Summit, and after again backlash, they said, actually, we won't be doing that. We've gone from the fuck around to the find out stage, I guess, for the Tates.
About time.
Yeah. Let's see if there's any of these small stories before we get into stupid tweets of the week territory. Nope, not that one. Oh, yeah, this one's an interesting one. Let me see, is that tagged? Okay, cool. The AI situation. I like the comparison to WeWork because I do know, having read the book about it, that WeWork is kind of like this. Notice the increasing cash burn that is going on to being projected into the future. Like by 2027, just losing $20 billion over at OpenAI. Yeah.
Jesus. How's that possible?
Yeah.
Can't they use AI to...
I know, right? It's just...
to figure out how to fix that.
We also... got some news out of NVIDIA
on their that was for like 1 minute. You just had to wait like 5 more minutes.
That was on their earnings.
What was even the reason for the drop in the first place?
Was that their earnings?
Yeah, it was on earnings. They had an earnings.
They missed. I can't remember which one it was.
They beat.
They beat on the bottom and top line.
Yeah, it was one of the line items. Like I can't remember if it was data centers or I can't remember which one it was.
And gaming was up a ton. I think
which is really weird because they've been really just kind of meh on their gaming GPUs. It's like they've been focused on all the AI stuff that they're just like, gamers can eat shit. But this over here on the far left is like the earnings thing, and then like it was doing fine. It wasn't until like it was pretty much flat. Like it was a little bit down. It wasn't until Friday when we had a huge dump in the market that it really, saw any movement. Friday was just bad for everything.
Right, yeah.
But that's all that really happened.
They're still killing it, though.
Well, I mean, yeah.
Maybe try to undermine the independence of the Fed.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's see if there's anything else here that I wanted to grab, but I think that's mostly it for this evening. Do any of you guys have stupid tweets of the week?
I do.
Awesome.
Sure.
I have one. I also have a guest one.
I mean, there's been so many that it's hard to pick, but I think I'm going to go with this one.
I'm going to throw up.
I'm sure Platt's going to beat me, but.
So this one was brought to us by, one second here while I get the poll set up. This one was brought to us by.
This shit is so stupid.
Yeah, this one was brought to us by AMC Scam, Sean Williams. No more hype dates for me. Yeah, sure. Cool story. I'm just sticking to what the docket says. Well, I hate to break it to you. Getting caught up in them is draining and mad exhausting. Yeah, well, blah, 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 blah. It's the worst is when you have to answer to family why it hasn't happened. Man, at this point, just stay low and don't talk to any of them.
Yikes.
Yikes. I think I'll switch over to Amy, who's got hers up next. Do you have one, Platinum?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
All right, guys. I think there may be more to this beyond BBY than meets the eye. Huge amounts of confusion on the trading platforms. TradingView has removed Beyond, and their share price shows up on the old chart of BBBY. BBBY search also shows on BMV and BIVA markets. so much confusion. And there's a laugh. This guy says on TradingView, there's a BBBY listed on the NASDAQ and one on the NYSE. I think that's it. But I don't know, maybe that wasn't as great as I thought. I should have gone with the Jake one. I don't know. I'm just like, there's so much confusion. I'm like, there's really not.
Okay. This one I took a screenshot of.
Here we go.
So this is about Rapez. In my opinion, I think he did sue Amy, and it was likely settled with an NDA and a cease and desist order. She seems to have quieted down. I also think he is going after other shills. He might be baiting them, definitely taunting them. He's one of the few in this play, the wealth and means / lawyers to do this. He also seems genuine to me, and with the proper endorsements. This is the best part. There could be a lot of shills at the events too. Shills probably aren't supposed to go to strip clubs. Could be a vetting process.
What?
Oh my god!
Did you guys know that? Like, you know how that's a whatchamacallit, like people think that cops aren't allowed to lie about being cops. Like shills aren't allowed in strip clubs.
they have to.
But cops are allowed.
They have to disclose if they're cops if you ask them.
Right. Yeah. And apparently shills that's a vetting
I assure
process.
you he didn't.
Absolutely not.
I have some other
why do these people think that you can't go look this stuff up? Like if anybody sues anybody, there's gonna be a docket.
Yeah, and I can
you can look up.
Yeah, you act like they know how to read dockets, Amy. Come on.
Oh, so that's why he took all the apes to the strip club after Pulte.
Exactly.
Not because it's trashy.
It was a vetting process.
It was his way of checking for a wire.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Night MJL. Mine, I will show you the honorable mentions, but this is my top one. Gardner Wade.
Wait, can I show my honorable mention then?
Sure, we'll throw those in there. They're non-voting though. So Gardner Wade has make your signs and plans to get loud for the 1,000th day. Did that already come and go?
Nope, it's September 4th.
Okay.
Maybe I'll make a song.
1,000th day of being U3 halted. Okay.
Oh my God, the halt was over in 3 days.
I know, right? It ended when the shares were canceled and they transferred them over to NextBridge. You have not been U3 halt. This is the most, I said, this is the most retarded thing that these people still think it's been U3 halted. No, the reason why your shares don't trade is because NextBridge refuses to get a fucking QSIP. Anyway, that's my stupid tweet. We're going to go honorable mentions to give time for people to vote. Amy, get your honorable mention, and I will get my first honorable mention. I don't know if you saw this one from Home Loan Bill. Real estate mortgage expert thinks she understands what the word amortization means, but absolutely does not. Amy, you're the mortgage expert. You want to explain how this is?
No, I don't.
So amortization is when you pay a loan off over a period of time, part interest, part the principal. And so Bill is saying that, the high.
But look at Tucson Tales. So cash purchases only? Yeah, that'll fix everything.
No mortgages should be simple interest, only like car loans. That's amortization. Maybe that one should have been the one I went with, but.
Okay, pull up mine.
Okay.
Jake!
Of course.
I'm not sure how to refer to this business since the SEC Edgar still has it listed as Beyond, despite filing an 8K a week ago acknowledging their name change. But has anyone wondered why they also amended their bylaws to explicitly state shareholders do not have the right to a special meeting when they changed their name to BBBY? Ensuring an uninterruptible move or impairing shareholders' ability to keep the board accountable? ?
Wow.
Look.
Hey guys, look over there. Never mind the preserved.
Jake
picture.
read the 8K of a totally different company. And then Game Informer says, I was hoping someone who has been confidently incorrect for 3 years could weigh in on this. Thanks, Jake. Never appreciated. I mean, there's so many funny ones. All my BBYQ shares converted to Beyond shares this morning in Fidelity. We won. Joseph says, LOL. Bro, just stop. Platt, didn't you reply in here somewhere?
No. No, not in here. Not.
I mean, the comments are hilarious.
It's just
I have one more honorable.
He just wants, like, the reason. Look at all these people. Like, normally would be blocked.
They couldn't risk a delay in what will ultimately benefit shareholders.
Right.
Oh, sure.
Strange events happening with this. Like, he's literally.
Look over there, guys. Avert your eyes from the ticker trading.
It's so crazy.
I have one other honorable mention, and it's also a side level of dumb. I love dinging on Rob Carter, but he's talking about, why would it take 3 years to publish a share count? Actually, it didn't take 3 years. It's been in their public filings since the beginning.
Yep. Every time.
Oh, boy. Well, so Amy, I believe, has a vote on YouTube. Platt has a vote, has our 8th vote. It would have been Amy, though, if she had gone with her honorable mention, apparently.
I knew it. I knew it should have. I knew it.
But I agree. I kind of like Platinums. It was just that level of, like, super crazy.
I voted for Platinums.
I mean, it was about you, so.
Right.
Well, after, what was it, 3 weeks, and I think you weren't on one of those shows for that 3-week period. You're back on top.
And last week, I just, I abstained because I was way too tired. So here I am, back again.
All right. So actually finishing under the 3-hour clock that we normally set as a limit bar for once. I was surprised considering all the crazy meme stock and Bill Pulte shenanigans we had to play catch up on. But yeah, we achieved it. We have that ability when we put our mind to it. So any closing thoughts, Platinum?
Well, I guess, August is over, so there's that.
Yeah.
In September, here we go.
Yeah. Amy?
What?
Any closing thoughts?
Oh, sorry, I was reading.
BBBY, everybody.
What?
Nothing.
I don't have closing thoughts. I was reading that Illiterate guy, I guess, found the Atlanta mortgage and he posted it, so I was reading that. But no, good night. Everybody have a happy Labor Day.